What's good? What's good, everybody? What's going on, man? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm gonna be off camera tonight. I'm still moving around, but I was debating on whether I could, whether I would do it. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. What's going on? Can y'all hear me or no? Okay, all right, good. There we go. There we go. I wanted to make sure because I'm not at the crib right now. So I'm out in this in this crazy traffic, man. But uh, I I wanted to just wait till tomorrow. If y'all notice, I've been quiet, man, but I've been just chopping it up a little bit. Everybody know I just been kind of observing. A lot of them come my way, information. You just kind of sit on it, and then you wait. Here's how I am. I don't like to say shit about nothing until I can confirm whatever. And if I don't have confirmations, I don't really, you know, I don't touch it, good or bad, good or bad. And the world went crazy for a couple of days, and hopefully everybody has kind of calmed down a little bit. I'll be back to the regular scheduled live streams tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be back in the lab at my regular time, 7 p.m. Pacific, sitting in front of y'all, and we really gonna dissect a few things. But I felt like I had so many people keep asking me if I was going live, so I said, "Well, shit, let me just come on and let's get that thing out of the way before tomorrow instead of just sitting on ice again." I got I got a whole lot to say about a lot of stuff, but it's gonna take a while to kind of get it out because, um, and I'm not trying to do no 4, 5, 6 hour stream, man. That ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So when you got a lot of things being said, let me say it this way: when you got a lot of things being said, uh, you have to figure out what's real and what's not, because everything that comes to you guys ain't always solid. You got to figure out where it came from, how they got it, who gave it to them, who said what, and there, it's not time to move on. It's not, because what you're moving on from. Because sometimes when things are you can't be. Let me say it this way: you can't make peace with something until you know what it is. Or you can just say the hell with it, and if you don't care, you don't care. But I'll say it again, I say this all the time: stop telling people what they should do. Stop telling people how they should react to stuff. Stop telling people how they should deal with stuff. Give people time, man. If you good, you good. Let everybody else. Majority of the people you come in contact with are self-centered. Everybody thinks the world revolves around them. Everybody thinks the way that they think is the way that it is. It's not like that. Leave room for error. Let people be how they need to be. Everybody internalize. I'm gonna say it this way: what I've learned about Coach Prime coming to Jackson State, and I'm not even gonna bother with the trolls or anybody that's haters and people like whatever. People at your disappointment or your pain, you gotta just walk away from them. Like, we're at a point, we all adults, we mature. I'm not even entertaining that. I'm not in pain in regards to Coach Prime, because I accepted that a long time ago. So I'm not even going there with that. But here's what I'll say. Um, Everybody internalized. I want y'all to hear me on this. everybody internalized Coach Prime coming to Jackson State and selling the vision that he sold in their very own way. Everybody internalized that personally. So a lot of the disappointment that you're seeing, that we're witnessing, is people coming to the realization that maybe the things that they expected is not ever going to become a reality. So they're disappointed, and everyone is expressing their own disappointments. And I told y'all what was going to happen. I told y'all what was going to happen. What happens is the people that was his biggest haters are going to flip, and they're going to become his biggest apologist. Somebody say, what are you apologizing for? You got to listen, man. I put out a tweet today, and I stand on this. People do not listen to comprehend. Listen to respond. That's the majority of the people you talk to these days. They do. They do. They don't listen to comprehend. You can explain something to somebody and tell them exactly what you mean by something, and they will turn right around and take everything you said out of context and tell you some stuff, start addressing things that you're not even talking about, because they have an agenda that they want to make sure that they get it out. And I'm going to just say this out the gate. This is to Jackson State. This is to the alums. This is to everybody. I'm going to make this very clear, because this is kind of the premise I'm going to basically build going forward. I'm going to make this real clear to y'all. You will not beat Deion Sanders with the media. You're not going to beat him. Not that you're even trying to. That's a battle that we're not going to win. Okay? We're not going to win that battle. So I like the fact, because I know it's so many things that we can go, so many ways we can go. I'm just getting some preliminaries out the way with it. Listen to me. Deion Sanders is a media machine, man. He's a media machine. He's a powerful man. He always got cameras by him, around him, and he can control the narrative. And I'm telling you, if he puts something out there, you're not gonna have the firepower to combat that if that's what he tries to do. So I think it's in the best interest of Jackson State to just bow out gracefully, accept that he's gone, let him coach the Celebration Bowl. We'll get into that in a minute. I absolutely disagree with the notion that he shouldn't coach the Celebration Bowl. And I'm going to pause on that for now. We're going to come back to that, and I'm going to explain it to you. But in order for you to understand why it's okay, why he should coach the Celebration Bowl, you have to approach this conversation without emotions. You got to take the emotions out of it, okay? If you take the emotions out of it, then you'll understand what we're dealing with. And I'm going to tell you like this right here. It ain't everything that you think ain't what you think it is. I can say that on both sides. Yes, I'm going to say it again, on both sides. Now, I have to be very careful how I approach certain things on the Jackson State side, because I'm not going to defend no bullshit, y'all. I'm not. I saw the same thing y'all saw. I see the same thing y'all saying. I mean, that's out there. Y'all know what's been released. Y'all know what's been said. Y'all know what's out there. So we're not gonna play the dummy game. If you don't know, you can just go out there. And it's a lot of stuff out there that was said that has really made it to where the departure and why he departed the way he departed is justifiable. And on that side, now, that's not me saying that. I'm saying when you know what's out there, before you go into defense mode, I'm gonna defend Jackson State and I'm gonna defend everybody. We gonna make sure. Just pause, man. Pause and say, wait a minute. All right, what's really going on right now? Because y'all know that go well that a lot of things that go on we're not privy to it. Neither am I. I ain't no insider like that. Well, I got all this. Be privy to all these in-house things. But let me say this, y'all. When things like what we've heard starts leaking out to the public, and it's designed to make the institution look very bad, you gotta say, all right, hold on. What we dealing with right now? What's really going on? Because what we don't want to do is have something like that be love. Love is a part of love is telling the truth, man. Love ain't lying and sweeping stuff on the road, acting like we ain't had our fair share of cools. Y'all know our history. Y'all know our history. We ain't gonna be fake now. We're not gonna be fake. We're not gonna be fake. I heard everything. So I ain't sitting there telling y'all that I ain't missed nothing because I've been sitting down quietly like, okay, what else? What else is who's saying what? Where it's coming from? And I ain't no gossip person. I ain't quick to I'm slow to speak when it comes to like BS, it's like, all right, let me sit down for a minute and really hear what's being said, right? Let me hear what's being said. And let me give it some thought. And then I look at it from both sides and say, wow, okay, if this is like this, then maybe why this happened. Now, here's what we do know. Deion Sanders gone. He's accepted a job in Colorado. We know we're in the process of getting ready to hire a new coach, and I'm excited about that. But we got to finish. We're 12-0, and that's the last thing we talked about. We've had an undefeated season for the first time in my physical life in the past 3 days since this has happened. The last thing that we've talked about is football, and that's crazy, man. So we got another game coming up, Celebration Bowl. Getting ready to go to Atlanta, and I'm looking forward to it, man. And I'm looking forward to celebrating. Um, After you get past the emotions and all that stuff, the thing that I really came away with was disappointment. And I'm gonna share this real quick, and then I'm gonna move on. My disappointment wasn't that Deion Sanders left; it was the way he left. And by what I mean by that is, it's not the video of him on the stage. That's understandable. Like, think about it. Okay, you don't have to like how a person do something. They answer to that. I don't have to defend that, or I don't have to defend it, or whatever the case may be. You got a flight book. Folks, you know what I'm saying? It was clear that he was ready to get rolling, right? He had to go meet with the team, and in perfect fashion, he put it out there. He was going to be transparent, let you see exactly what he said to the team. Most people don't do that, but that's Deion Sanders, and he's always been consistent with that, right? What I mean by the way he left, I really wanted one more season, and I felt like after one more season, we really could have closed the gap on some of the things that he was saying he wanted to do within the HBCU space. And I really feel in my heart of hearts, one more season at the helm, both his sons graduating from the university, it would have been more like a farewell tour. If he had said, hey, this is going to be my last season at Jackson State, I'm looking to get to that next level, I feel like I've done enough, and you come back to the front of the line and really just tell people where you are. But I can't say, see, based off everything that's out there, we don't even know if the possibility of that being there was even available. And that's the part where we're going to have to look in the mirror, man. We're going to have to ask ourselves, did we do enough? Or did we screw up? And this is what I'm going to ask y'all to not do, because we talking. Don't come your ass on this damn live stream talking like you know exactly what the hell going on. If you ain't at the school and you wasn't there, and where you know for a fact, don't come in here with no second hand or third hand, fourth hand information with your chest stuck out acting like you know. Because I can assure you I might know more than what you know. But you know what? I ain't even trying to flex on nobody like what I know. I'm sitting on some, you know what? Let's have a real intelligent conversation about it. And this ain't no accusatory conversation. So if you looking for mess, this ain't the live stream for that. I ain't coming with no mess. I'm coming really and truly challenging us to take a step back and put the emotions down for a minute. Put the damn emotions down, man. Put them down. And let's deal with the real. On both sides. On both sides. Because here's where we are. Deion Sanders is gone. He ain't never coming back. He's gone. And we don't have to like how he left. Let me finish my point. My point is that it ended that way. That's what happened. I'm saying wishful thinking is, I really wish that things could have went well, man. It didn't have to end like the way it ended. It did not have to end like the way it ended. And what I'm trying to say to y'all is this. When you take the emotions out of the way and you look from adult to the adult, if adults, I'm talking about us, if we do what we got to do on all sides, it don't have to end that way. And people can go on to the next level. They can go on and try to elevate and move on to the next chapter of their life without becoming a goddamn enemy. But when do we stop celebrating mess? That's the part that got me. I was like, what the hell is happening right now? That's why I shut up. And that's why I said I'm going to be quiet for a minute and really try to figure out what the hell am I feeling. I had some emotions. I didn't know what I was dealing with. And it was disappointment. It wasn't about football. You see, people going to take what I'm saying and think that I'm saying, I'm disappointed Deion Sanders left and I'm disappointed. No. Folks, we were living a dream that we always wanted to see. We were living a dream that we always wanted to see. What am I talking about? We all wanted to see our top athletes start to choose our institutions. We were living the dream. Yes, we were. Yes, we were. We were. And we got to see a small glimpse of what we could do when we freaking unified. And we messed it up. We messed it up. I'm talking about us as a people, man. And we look like clowns right now. How in the hell do we mess this up? We had an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm not talking about Jackson State. I'm talking about black people. And that's the part that's got me frustrated. And that's why I can't come on camera. And that's why I'm emotional. Because we had it. We were right there. And we fucked it up. We fucked it up. I don't give a damn about how Deion Sanders left. I don't. I'm sick of that shit, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I ain't sorry. Because when you really want to see something for your own damn people, this shit'll bring you to tears. You got people laughing because somebody on the live stream crying about this because of what it meant to them. You don't know what it's like to be in corporate America and to have to be better than better. And when we get a chance to be great, we turn on each other. And we start power tripping and we start being goddamn snakes and we mess it up for everybody. It'll never happen again. And that's why I was disappointed. I ain't calming down nothing because I've been calm. This is why I ain't trying to, I'm just saying, man, I'm serious, y'all. I don't care who don't like this. This is who I really am. This is not about Jackson State. This is not an attack on Jackson State. This is not an attack on nobody. I'm just saying my emotions is about the disappointment of you. How do you mess this up? And they say, you can hear what you want to hear. How do you mess this up? I'm calm now. How do you mess this up? What do we do wrong? Where we go wrong? And what do we do to make sure we don't mess up again. I say, man, this is about football, man. Let's talk about football. You tripping? No, we ain't. Somebody say, man, I can't believe he went out there and shitted on the city, man. Y'all, are you in them? We got Facebook groups where people got scanners in the city of Jackson. We sit back complaining about Jackson all day long. I know Jackson got crime, man. Y'all man stuff got stolen. I know his car got broken too. I do too. I wish he had, you know, but like he said on the Earn Your Leisure interview, he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. No, he wasn't. So my disappointment. So make sure don't nobody misconstrue what I'm saying. And you know what? It's okay because I really live this. I really feel this way. And I'm telling y'all, man, I at this point, you just hope you got a team. Let's make a good hire. Let's see if we can get somebody in there to salvage this thing. And let's just get back to this football, I guess. Because that little glimpse of what we felt like we could be, maybe, just maybe. I'm not too optimistic that it's ever gonna happen. And I'm just saying, there's enough. It ain't about blame. It ain't about none of that. It's just about dealing with the facts, like what actually happened. And I can't answer that question, y'all. I don't have all the answers. I can't say if the stuff that y'all heard that was extremely disturbing is not true. I don't have the ability to come out right now and say, hey, that ain't true. That ain't that way. And I'll just leave that at that. But it's enough to make you, if you care and truly love Jackson State and really true blue, my admonishment to you is to do your own research. Ask your own questions. Ask the right questions. And then we got to figure out how do we alleviate the issues, and then we go from there. Yeah, man. So that's why I ain't been talking, because I'm just, when I took a step back, I was like, dang, man, so I didn't watch any other. I watched a few of the clips. I watched the Bo Money Jones interview. I watched Shannon Sharp because I just kind of wanted to see what was being said, and most of it played out exactly how I thought it would play out. So what we'll do is we'll go find somebody that says the things that we think, and we'll basically overshare it, and we'll be like, this is right, that is right. And really all we're really saying is I agree with this person. This is how I see it. You get what I'm saying? I feel like it's, you know, everybody has their version of how they see this. Everybody does. But I stand on, and this is the other part, and I promise you I'm gonna move from this. I said, well, just maybe everything that we did want and thought we wanted, and maybe the mission was accomplished, because maybe this whole experiment was to show us that we really ain't ready for what we think we are, but now we know how far we are from it, and now we can put things in place, and we can learn from some mistakes, and we could really try to truly, you know, elevate and make things work. You know, and it is what it is, man. That's one way of looking at it. But this has been, I'll just share. I'll share with y'all what somebody told me, and I ain't saying no name, but I think they spot on now that I see it. This is before the game. It's like, look, man, Jack State gonna be forever. We gonna be looked at as a case study on how to mess things up when it comes to having something in your hand that could have really been beneficial for a very long time, and somehow we found a way to not see it all the way through. And I know that this may not be what some of our alums and fans want to hear, because we might be listening with emotional ears. You might say, well, you were just emotional. No, I'm passionate about seeing our people progress in whatever way we can. And this is one way that we can, as a people, progress. But problem is that it was it looks like a nasty divorce that's being spilled over in public. That's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. And I don't know. I've been through a divorce, so maybe that's why I see it that way. And I'm telling you, I've been through a tough one too. So I'm just telling you, man, this has been, and we're gonna move on. By next week, something will happen, and then, I think whenever we name a coach, we will be distracted from the bull junk that's kind of out there. You need something. We got players entering the portal. That's the expectation. We already knew that. So at this point, what we got to do is we got to really just get back to being Jackson State. Cut your losses. Take it. Like my mama say, go in there, wash your face. I don't know why grandma and mama them always feel like anything that happens, just go in there, wash your face, brush your teeth, and wash your hands, put some lotion on your hands. That solves all the problems in the world. So what we got to do is we got to look in the mirror. Like mama said, you got to go wash your face. You got to regroup, and you got to cut your losses. And you got to get back to being who we are. We are Jackson State. That's who we are. Yes, we are. We ain't stopped being Jackson State because Deion Sanders is no longer our coach. All right? And we don't have to oversell that point. All we really have to do is just get back to the positive energy side of it, because the negative energy ain't going to solve nothing, because you got too many people. You're not going to win that war. I don't see a way of winning that war. And I get it. You got so many people that it just gets annoying. You ain't gonna be able to explain everything to everybody, because there's too many people out there that have made their mind up about this, and people are using Brett Favre like it's like, the what about, how we be like, man, we talk about police brutality and they say, well, what about Chicago? That's what the Brett Favre sound like. People are just saying, hey man, I'm disappointed, man, that Deion left so soon, because we really believe that he was going to change the landscape of college football via the HBCUs. We really believe that he was going to elevate this thing. And this was short-lived. He was here 2 years, and he's gone. And it just felt unfulfilled, and that's what we was disappointed about. But we'll move on. But the problem is when people say that that's what they're disappointed about, people that want to laugh at your calamity, or people that want to laugh at your pain, starts hitting you with things that you're not even saying, and then you start wasting time trying to defend stuff that you ain't even said to begin with. And it's like, well, y'all more black. Like, now you got people out here saying black people are mad. Black people in Mississippi are more mad about Deion Sanders leaving than Brett Favre. And it's like, that's absolutely not the case. That's not even true. Like, I hate blanket statements like that. It's not like that. We've been singing that for the longest. Matter of fact, it was the black people in Mississippi that was saying, hey, mainstream media, why y'all not really covering this? It was the people in Mississippi that was saying, it ain't just Brett Favre. Brett Favre is the tip of the iceberg. You need to get old Tater Tot, Phil Bryant too. Everybody that's culpable in this whole little scheme. And I saw something about that where they want him to pay the money back. No, he should really be in jail, man. Like, everybody should be in jail, but that's another story for another day. So when you go out there for these what do you call them? Sound bites. These little, and then people, it catches on and people run with it and they act like you really own to something. And it just be a never-ending string of bullshit. And it has no substance. It ain't even true. And we spend all day defending shit that nobody said, that we ain't feeling, and it just gets annoying. So what I'm admonishing everybody, you get what I'm saying? I'm okay I done moved on to something else. And honestly, I told y'all as plain as day what I was dealing with. It was more about the disappointment that I feel like we lost the historical moment. And that's frustrating to me. I'm okay with Deion Sanders going to be the coach in Colorado. I accepted that weeks ago. It is what it is. I wish him well. Don't come over here looking for me to be wishing Deion Sanders any losses. I'm a fan of Deion Sanders. I'm a fan of Shador. I wish him well. It don't cost you a dime to wish somebody well, even if they ain't. And listen, I'm gonna say this too. If we was cool with certain things when he was coaching and winning, and we thought he was gonna be on the home front, don't start singing like a jaybird and start in the business of exposing people. I'm not in the business of that because I think that's fake. If you weren't saying nothing when everything was hunky dory and it was going your way, don't start yapping now. Now that he gone, my thing is this right here. We ain't got to be friends tomorrow. But if we ain't friends tomorrow, your secrets that I had with you when we were friends are still my secrets. I ain't gonna share that. I hate people like that. Not hate's a strong word. I get away from people because those are character flaws to me. I'm not going out there public. I'm thankful to Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders, and let me say this too. I tried to tell y'all, man. Me and Zoe tried to tell y'all. Now, there's a reason I came on tonight because I don't want to deal with this. I'm not going down this road tomorrow. So I'm getting this. I'm going to shut up in just a minute, and then I'm going to let everybody else say what they want to say. I open the stream up, and I just listen. I won't even talk. I just only respond if you ask me a question or something. But this is solely to get it all out. We got to flush it. This is a flush session. Get all your frustrations out tonight. Get all your frustrations out tonight, because tomorrow we finna get back to the nitty. I said, Zoe, we got our job back now, dog. And what I mean by that is we started out being recruiting guys. Because here's the beauty of this thing. The ugly side and the beautiful side of it. When you get a coach, the first order of business of a new coach is he's going to have to re-recruit the players that are currently on the roster. And he can start with the players that enter the portal that are still Jackson State students. Just because a kid enters the portal does not mean that they're no longer a Jackson State student. They're still students that's got to finish the course of their schoolwork, and you still got time. Okay, I've talked to several of the players, multiple of the players that have hit the portal I've spoken with. And I won't say what we discussed because I want them kids to do what is best for them. This is the nature of the business. We can't be feeling some type of way because a kid committed to, man, listen, if I was a kid and I was playing football in 2020 and 2021 and Deion Sanders became the head football coach at HBCU and he offered me a scholarship and I went to play for him, chances are I went to go play for him because it was Deion Sanders. And some of these kids, we probably wouldn't have got a second look if Deion Sanders wouldn't have been at Jackson State. And we all know that. Don't make no difference how much we love Jackson State. You can love Jackson State, but you can't be stupid. And I ain't talking about nobody. I'm talking about Ken. Ken, don't be stupid and think for 1 second that it's not offensive for a player to say, you know what, this has been a fun ride. But you see that a lot. This is a different type of college football, okay? The kids that you see entering the portal now, because everybody was like, well, if they transfer at one time, they that's the one-time transfer rule. They can't do it. Well, Michael Pleas and Josh Griffin showed you that that's not true because there is a waiver out there that says if in the 2022 and the 2023 transfer rules, if a player loses their coach, they can absolutely hit the portal and they can request an immediate eligibility waiver. So don't hold your breath on a player ain't going to be able to transfer because he's already transferred before. Well, the mere fact that Deion Sanders is going to be coaching in Boulder, Colorado after next Saturday and moving forward with that, by all means, you might want to just walk away from that particular side of it. Now, here's my point. I told Zoe, I said, we back in business because back in the day, we used to really keep up with recruiting. We really used to really follow kids, reach out to kids, really get involved. We were way more involved before Coach Prime got there. When Coach Prime came, we was like, we don't need to do that because this dude is a recruiting master. He got a great system in place, and we completely backed off. So all we would do is we would take kids and we would say, hey, this is who you need to talk to. Well, we about to get back into our whatchamacallit and get the rocking and roll. And here comes Zoe speaking. Hold on. You on the stream, bro?
What up, man?
Hey, what's up, bro? So I'm gonna finish what I was saying. I'm gonna let you go. I'm glad you're here because mute your mic, folks. Mute your mic. All right. So we talked about this today, and I just want to say, in the whole scheme of things, when it comes to the football team, because it is a thing, everything that's kind of been coming our way has been more of a means of concern. I'm just saying, listen, I want everybody that's listening to make sure they fully understand the process of how things might look now that Deion Sanders has announced and things are where they are. First order of business for Jackson State, first order of business is to finish. We got a game, and I'm gonna say this, and I promise you, I'm gonna shut up. Me and Zoe delve into why we felt like how we felt about Coach Prime coaching the Celebration Bowl. So I'm gonna pause on that. But what I wanted to say was this: you hire a new coach. When you hire your new coach, you let him do what he got to do. Don't worry about players entering the portal because we still have a shot at those players returning if we make the right hire and they feel like they want to play for that coach. You get what I'm saying? The next thing is there's a crap ton of players that's going to be entering the portal, and it is going to hurt high school recruiting. So as a result of that, you're going to see a plethora of players available in the portal, and you're going to see a plethora of high school players that's not going to be getting the looks that they think, i.e., if you make the right hire, Jackson State still being a household name, Jackson State still being in the mouth for everybody, we are going to be okay. Okay? All right, I'll pause on that, Zoe. You got it. I'm going to mute my phone.
Yeah, so what's up, everybody? So look, even echo what Ken just stated. Look, I don't know how a good portion of y'all are either half glass full or half glass empty, but for everything that happens, it's a great opportunity for Jackson State. The sky is not falling. The world is not ending. And understand that the task at hand right now is to prepare for the Celebration Bowl because we still have every last goal set out for us that we can get to, and that is to win this next game, to end the season at 13-0, and be Black College national champions. And that's what we need. That's what all of Jacksonians' focus needs to be. As soon as that's over, then we direct our attentions to find out who our coach is going to be. And then from there, we sit there, we control what we can control. And after then, it's about retention of the players. We can't even focus so much on recruiting because the base of our recruiting is going to be, retention, retain the players that we have on the team. And so honestly, it's past time. Look, we're all grown. I'm not going to sit here and give my opinion on how anybody should feel because you're going to feel how you feel. There is no right and there is no wrong. You feel how you feel, but I will say this, whichever end of the spectrum you are, get it out your system. It's been past 72 hours now. So at this point, it ain't nothing but complaining. So get out your system, do what you need to do what you need to do to get it out your system and be done with it because we're moving onward and upward. Coach Prime laid a foundation. At the end of the day, no matter how you feel, Jackson State name is out there. A foundation has been laid. That block is known all throughout this country right now. We need to build on it. So, again, take his blueprint, go from there, and it's like onward and upward. We can't stay stagnant. And I'm going to tell y'all this, too. Going forward, I'm going to echo something that Coach Prime said. We're going to try to win the Celebration Bowl. But to quote him, he would always say, well, what is a win? Because a win for Jackson State going forward is not the same as a win at, Texas Southern or a win at Valley. And that's the thing that we need to focus on. And I say, hey, what's a win for Jackson State? Easy. A win for us is not getting more points than the team we're playing. A win for us is dominating the opponent. A win for us is go ahead and finishing the job and getting this stadium built. A win for us is further, heightening our profile. A win for us would be to dominate, get these other facilities built. Keeping Jackson State out there, onward and upward, showing that we're successful in spite of Coach Prime leaving. It's like a regular breakup, and I was saying this on the spaces tonight. And in any breakup, not trying to place blame on anybody, and I'll shut up after this. And that is, whenever things end, a relationship end, what do? You shut up, you put your head down, and you go to work on yourself. Make yourself more attractive. Do the things you need to do. Because at the end of the day, that's the way you overcome it. The best success, the best revenge in all this is success. And that's all we need to be focused on. That's it. Jackson
Man,
State needs to focus on Jackson State and elevate Jackson State. We can't worry about the outside noise. So the good thing about Coach Prime leaving, it's going to create some great opportunities. Like me and Ken stated to each other earlier, we're back now. Now we get to focus on us. Now we get to really get back to the real Jackson State now. Because people will say we did this because of Prime. Well, good. Now we got the opportunity to show the world. Now you're going to really get to see the true blue Jackson State. Now that red block going to come back on both sides of the helmet. Now you're gonna really see the old swagger of JSU. If we were a sleeping giant, Coach Prime was the thing that we needed to wake us up. So now he's gone. He set the blueprint, laid the foundation. Now it's time for all the Jews, all the Jacksonians to bunker down together and mount up and rise like we know we are.
man, I love that. And let me say this. Go ahead and hit mute. So here's to piggyback on what Zoe just said, and this is so true because these are the questions that I asked myself. I said, what can I do about what's going on? What can I do about what has happened? And the answer I kept coming to was nothing. So y'all know the saying is when you can't change it, what do y'all have to do? Or what do we have to do? We have to change the way we feel about it, right? So that's what I was like, you know what? And then it moved to, well, what can I do better with what I'm touching from a Jackson State standpoint? And my commitment is to do this better, to get better organized. So I'm making a commitment to you guys tonight that we're going to do this thing still. We're going to do Tiger Talk. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do our live streams. We're going to elevate this thing and really, really do it. Because I'm pretty sure there might be a little bit of interest. There'll be some initial interest from those to kind of see what we do next. But after a while, when you kind of lose a big fish like a Deion Sanders, some people tend to lose interest. They might stick around for a little while. So you might see a little bit of the coverage come off. And that's why we got to make sure that we button up, we tighten up, and we doing whatever we can do to make sure that that's that. Now, that's all I got on that. So one of the things we did talk about was there was a lot of noise around people feeling some type of way. Now, this is my admonishment. Man, put however you feel in the comments. If you want to get it off your chest, whatever the case may be. I promise y'all, I come on live tomorrow. I'm really not even delving in any mess. This is it for me. And that's why I'm saying, like, y'all know what's out there. At this point, it's a matter of I can't tell you that you're gonna ever get me to come out and say, well, this is what that was, and that's what that was, and I'm not gonna do that. Because I don't feel like in the grand scheme of things that it's gonna really solve anything. And what I'm not trying to do is I'm not trying to scratch the itch of somebody's itching ears that want to hear some mess. You know what I'm saying? There's people in the media, let them they can do whatever they want to do with that. My thing is, how do we pick up the pieces and how do we build on the foundation like Zoe said, and how do we proceed and move further and do things on a higher level so we're not back in the same situation. But for those who felt like Coach Prime should not be coaching the Celebration Bowl, this is the thing that I was saying that we need to consider. Because I had a lot of parents. I don't know about you, Zoe, and maybe so you did, but I had a lot of parents, I'm talking about of seniors, that was concerned. Man, is Coach going to coach the Celebration Bowl? And I'm saying, I hope he does. From what I'm hearing, everything is he going to coach Celebration Bowl. People like, no, man, he went out to the press conference. He shouldn't coach the Celebration Bowl. You know who you're not thinking about? because when you go that route, we're thinking about things from an emotional standpoint. We like, oh, he disrespected Jackson State. No, he has a relationship with those players, and there's also some players on our roster that we have to give respect to the fact that they have the ability to possibly get drafted. I'm gonna give you two names, especially on offense, because I feel like if Coach Prime wasn't gonna coach, Shedeur possibly wasn't gonna play. Okay, you got Dallas Daniels. Coach Prime said he's what? He's a pro. You got Shane Hooks. He balled out in the SWAC championship game. You get what I'm talking about? He's a pro, right? You got offensive lineman that's trying to get looked at. Debo playing the left tackle position. He's trying to get drafted. And when you put these players on the field, they're going to be on NBC, on the or ESPN. I mean, whichever one it is. Which one they on? What is the Celebration Bowl? Is it NBC?
ABC.
ABC. I said that wrong. Thank you for correcting me, bro. So you got players that are really that are looking to try. Coach Pryor got his payday, right? Aubrey needs his payday. Y'all see what James Houston is doing? Because we want to get back to the Jackson State that we know and that we are, because we need to spend more time talking about what James Houston is doing. And we're going to do that. I promise y'all we're going to do that. But here's what, for the people that don't want to hear this, you got to get past this, and you got to allow people to get it out of their system so we can move on. Once you get it out of your system, we're not going back to it. I'm not going to keep addressing mess every day because people think we know this and we want to. Ask yourself, why do you want to know it and why do you need to know it? Are you asking it? Or do you want to know from a gossip standpoint? Or do you want to know from a concern standpoint? Because if you are really and truly a concerned alum, there's a way you can get this information in a healthy manner, which is pro Jackson State, unless you get what I'm saying. So my sole reason, and then here's the last thing, and I'm gonna let Zoe go. I'm gonna shut the heck up. There's a lot of staff members that's going to Colorado with him. You tell Deion he can't coach. They ain't got a coach either. You can't make them. That's the type of stuff. So that's why I say you got to take the emotions out of it. You got to look big. So you know what? It's okay. We're already in the process of getting ready to hire a new coach. It's okay. Let these folks, let the team finish, and we're on the brink of history. We want to win the Celebration Bowl, people. Yes, we do. And if that's the culmination of what we can get from this, you dadgum right. And then here's the last thing I say: you got a lot of people that's spending money, man, buying plane tickets and flights, and we're not doing that. But with all due respect, I'm just saying, with all due respect, man, we're not trying to fly to no Atlanta and watch Davius Richard, who is a baller for North Carolina Central, to play against a backup quarterback with a depleted team and a couple of coaches on the sideline. That is a shame. So you have to take the emotions out of it and say, let me look at the big picture and let me consider this and say, you know what? We're going to go celebrate. And when we call it a Celebration Bowl, we're going to celebrate, especially if we win the game. We're going to celebrate this season. We're going to commemorate this team, and we're going to send everybody off with a loving farewell, man. And we just going to move on from the bitterness because it is what it is. Oh, you got it.
So look, for anybody who can hear my voice, if you really, for real, still on Coach Prime need a coach, I'm going to tell y'all asking Jackson State to commit suicide. Seriously. And what I mean by that is, look, man, we got to get out of this space of feeling like we need to see or get our lick back for anything. And that's the problem. You know, you got to let go and let be. And that's a sign of maturity. For real. So understand this. If we go through what y'all go through, because you're emotional and say, well, he shouldn't coach. Okay, well, he don't coach, then you know Shedeur not playing. So there go your starting quarterback. Then, by letter of the law, you know, we can hold the coaches because they got contracts, and we can make them be there at that game by their contract so they don't get sued, right? But what you can't make the coaches do, you can't make them coach. You can make them be there. Like, they can be coaching. They can be there, but you can't make them coach. All they got to do is be there. They can half-ass it. So then what? So we're going to see him get embarrassed for a national championship? And what we're going to feel good because I own. And if you really feel like you feel good about our team getting their ass kicked on national TV for a chance to win a championship, then hell, I ain't for you. And I ain't for that. I'm for Jackson State. First and foremost. And the last thing, I'm for Jackson State. So miss me with that. Look, get out. Y'all got to get out of your feelings and just know that. Look, we finna go to Atlanta with all this pent up bad energy. We finna put that thing on North Carolina Central. We're gonna be 13-0, for the greatest winning history in Jackson State history, and we're gonna be Black College national champions. That's what's gonna happen. Now, when that's said and done, then you pick yourself up and you move forward. And it's just like a breakup. Every day is gonna get, and as each day passes, it's gonna get a little bit better and a little bit better. To by the start of the season, y'all ain't gonna be thinking about this stuff. Prime is not the first coach to leave Jackson State. He ain't gonna be the last. This next coach,
Right.
whoever we get, he's not gonna be at Jackson State 15 years. So pretty much everybody that can hear my voice, y'all gonna see that coach leave too. And another thing, we cannot be hypocritical because we don't have this energy. If Prime wasn't winning and we fired him, y'all won't be carrying on like this, no matter what he did.
Facts.
So we can't have it both ways. Again, I'm not gonna tell you how to feel because you have every right to feel the way you feel because how you feel is not right and it's not wrong. But I can say this: uh, after 72 hours, man, it's time to brush that shit off. Seriously, ain't nobody died. You ain't lost no loved one. This motherfucker got a pay raise. That's it. So why we still going on about it? So look, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna just carry on. But again, Ken and I talked about it earlier. And it's good that y'all want to have a little session to get off your chest. But I'm telling you, like I'm so through with it. And I saw coming earlier saying that I was hurt. No, I never was hurt. I was disappointed. And two things could be true. I can be disappointed in something that somebody did and still show gratitude for all the good that they've done. You could be a good person and made
Man,
a mistake. You know what I'm saying? You could have done a lot of good things, but the newest thing is the thing that's gonna stand out to me the most.
and
And
let
so
me
the
let
thing,
me let me ask you a question though. What if you are hurt? So what?
no, I'm not saying so well.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no, no,
speaking.
no, 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 no. Hold on. I'm saying that for a reason because I see that in the comments a lot of times. You see it on social media. Okay, when after you feel like somebody, you keep, oh, you emotional, you this, you that. Is that person is? What if? Okay. What then? What? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's all I got on that. I'm not even trying to be because every time you try to really have a real adult conversation with people, bro, you always get these idiots, man, that want to highlight. They don't like again. They don't want to listen to you, so they can know how Zoe really feels. And that's why I love what you said. Two things can be true at the same time. But my thing is this right here. If my response to you saying, "Ken, you hurt," and I say, "So, I'll be all right," then what you gonna say? You got it.
hey, I'm gonna say this. You can pray for me, but not for the reasons that you think. I'm gonna take unsolicited prayers regardless. It ain't that deep over here. I promise you it ain't. Kid can tell you that. Uh, I'm not telling fans how to feel. I promise I'm not. I just specifically said you are free because we're all different. And one thing I champion is differentiality. Because here's the thing. If all of us are always in agreement and lock in step, then why the hell do I even need to talk to y'all? And why do I need to give my opinion if y'all feel the exact way that I feel? I live by that. So again, and it's good to have a difference of thoughts and a different of opinion because you can enlighten me just like you can glean to me just like I can glean to you. Ken could think of something and I can be like, damn, dude, I didn't think about that, and enlighten me, and we can enlighten each other. So it's I promise you, it's not even that deep as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing we got to get over.
Again, though, again, this is what I'm saying, bro. It doesn't matter if it is. This is all I'm saying. This is why I say it's a waste of time, bro. When people and it's extremely annoying though. You know what I'm saying? So again, I've covered that on this stream. You said it, and you still get an idiot to come on here and say, don't tell people how to feel. And I literally just said that earlier. I said, we got to stop telling people how they supposed to feel. You know why, bro? Because everybody internalized this Deion Sanders coming to Jackson State. Do you know that I literally I had to do some traveling for work. So I'm in the airport, right? I spent an hour in the airport today talking to two people, two young men that was changing the garbage can at the airport because I had on a Jackson State sweater. And they were emotional about Coach Prime leaving Jackson State. They have no ties to Jackson State. None. I'm the JSU alum. These are two people I don't know. And they like, man, bro, I hate to see him go, man. Man, what happened? Emotional. So my question is, like, what do you do with that? That's a real thing. So my point is, all day, moving around for work. You see what I'm saying? Man, y'all lost prime time. Because I had on Jack State hoodie today. I heard that probably 17 times today. And you know what I said? Yeah, man, you know, I said, hey, he going to Colorado now, man. I said, it's a fun 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. What'd you say, Zoe? What did we tell him? Hey, don't wait to start enjoying this because you might look up and this thing might be over quick.
Look.
But see, what you have is you got all these people out here. Well, go ahead. I'm going to leave that alone. Go ahead.
So I was going to say, I actually jotted that down. I first made that statement the Friday before we played Tennessee State. And I came on record that day and I said, hey, man, y'all better enjoy this season. Enjoy every game, every media thing. Savor this shit. Take it in because you don't know when it's going to end. Now, granted, you know, we were under the assumption even then, you know, that Prime was going to probably be out after next season. We didn't know this. And that's just being truthful. But even then, we were thinking that Prime was going to leave after next year. And that was at the beginning of the season. That's just fact. And so with that in mind, that's why I was like, hey, man, y'all better savor these games, savor all of this. Because, you know, so we don't know when it's going to get to the point where 10 years from now, we all go sit here and be like, hey, man, y'all remember when Deion coaching at Jackson State? Like, that's going to happen. And so that's why I was,
true.
you know, on that. But again, look, man, look, at the end of the day, man, I'm just you doing through everybody on this call, excuse me, for the most part, rock with I love the same way I do. So Lord knows I view y'all as family, as brethren. And Lord knows I'm not out here talking, even trying to attack nobody. I'm just saying I know we can be better than what we are. But again, I want to preface my comments by saying, look, I understand that we all feel differently. You know what I'm saying? We all grieve differently. We all and taking enjoyments differently. And I respect that. I'm just saying, look, do that however you need to do it. But we got to get to the point where we got to put it behind us, seriously. And that's it. And we got to move forward because the same energy that we have, we cannot have a letdown. We need to go with the same vigor whenever this new coach is hired, get behind them, get behind these kids. And we're going to build on what we did this year. We're going to segue that thing into next season. We're stronger together. This fan base has been reinvigorated. We got a lot of people that we lost in the Bell years that are back right now. We have so much to build on, so much to carry
That's a great
through,
point.
so much to carry through into next season. And I promise y'all, we need to focus on the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. And I promise you, we need to hunker down as Jacksonians, man, so we really can bloom and come out of this thing smelling good. And I really think when the bulk of everybody get out of their feelings and they see what we could do and what we could go, I honestly believe Deion Sanders could be in our rearview mirror, and it could just be this was the segue point to the new JSU. Prime laid the foundation.
Well,
This next coach is going to
right.
take us to the new stratosphere.
Well, one of the things we did talk about, bro, when this first jumped on was we call it a paradigm shift, right? Call it paradigm prime. I absolutely feel like this was the beginning point. I said Prime just may prove to have been the thing that was used to get us where we needed to be. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes you can't know where you're going unless you know where you're at, right? You got to know how far you're off from your goal. So I love what you're saying, bro, because this is what I'm looking at. It can't be no drop off. And what by drop off, I mean, you said vigor. The way you gave this year, if you can give more next year, you should.
Facts.
The way you attended games, if you can get to a game, you should be there. And I'm saying I got a challenge for Jackson State that we should strive to hit a higher attendance average next season while
Facts.
Coach Prime is in Boulder, Colorado, because we
Facts.
should be showing the nation what we could do. Because I'm telling y'all right now, he said this, the same light that shows your good side also show you what? Your bad side, right? So this is what you don't want to ever have nobody say. Well, y'all was only there because of Deion. Y'all wasn't really attending no games because you got people saying that, and I'm seeing people having to go out and say, well, when we was 4-8 in 2018 and 2019, we averaged 32,000 fans, and we were still the number. Forget all that. You really want to know? If you really want to show the world what we really could do, on the same Saturday when Coach Prime is leading the Colorado Buffaloes, and you got new coach leading the Jackson State Tigers in our home game, we should have that same imagery that we saw this season with the back packed out. We in that thing supporting those Tigers, man.
And let me tell you something.
Shame on us.
Shame
on us if we do. Go ahead.
Let me point this out. That's a damn good point because I know a lot of you guys probably don't know, me being a football nerd, Colorado Stadium holds 50,000 people. It holds 50,000. And I know that, yeah, we did 42, but I'm about to say something. It's going to sound crazy to y'all, but it really ain't. Jackson State can actually average more fans than what Colorado does. We actually could do that. So if we did 42,000 both years their Prime was here, what do you think it's going to look like when we sit there and say, damn, we averaged 45,000 fans. Damn, we won the SWAC championship the next year after Prime was gone. So like the best thing we could do as Jacksonians and as a football program is not show any drop off. So when I mentioned what's a win for Jackson State, man, go win the SWAC the next year he ain't there. Average 45, 46,000 in the next year. You see what I'm saying? Get some players drafted. Level up on what we did while he wasn't there. Because guess what? I can assure you, whatever success that we have, his team will not match it. Remember that. And that's why I gave the example of a breakup. The best thing you can do after a breakup is put your head down and work on yourself and elevate yourself. The best thing for revenge is success. That's fact. That's fact.
That's a fact. And here's the thing, though. We not asking our fan base to do something that we not gonna do, and we not asking our fan base to do something we ain't already done. Man, the days of trying to go into the vintage archives to show people what Jackson State can do are over with. Man, the story is being written now, because now what you gonna do now? You gonna crawl back up and act like Jackson State don't matter? Because then it's on you now. You're gonna not give what I'm saying we should do? Take those emotions. If you pissed off, be pissed off enough to go do something about it. Do more. Because this school is gonna go as we go. We gotta ask the right questions. We do. What do we need? How can we be better? Ask the president. Ask the athletic director what they need. Figure out what do we go wrong at? Not in a defensive type manner, not in the offensive type manner, I meant to say. But we have to get these questions answered, because we're not going to be able to sweep this. You can't sweep this under the rug and act like we can just walk away from it. We can put the emotions down, but when you put the emotions down, it's still a business. You still want to know what happened.
Well, guess
what I'm talking about?
Well, since you mentioned business, I'm glad you said that. Let me segue into this. So,
All right.
one other thing that Prime started or mentioned, and that's going to be in its infancy next year, is the city of Jackson and the business community in Jackson never rallied around Jackson State. And so that's one thing that's going to change going forward. I actually even had a conversation today, believe it or not, about during football season, because Jackson is a 90% African American city, but then we have a lot of businesses, you know what I'm saying, it's not owned by us, it's owned by other races, and they benefit from Jackson State, but they aren't donated to Jackson State. Well, I actually had a conversation today about, especially when it comes to restaurants and hotels within the city, about how Jack State's going to apply pressure of, hey man, you're going to have some type of link or straight cover charge or some type of fee that's going to bless Jackson State off the top for every sale or transaction that you have during football season. If not, we're gonna put a placard on your stuff and we're gonna blacklist you, every last one of you, because you're not going to reap the
So here's
benefit.
the question.
Hold on.
So the question,
Because you're
go
not
ahead.
gonna you're not gonna benefit off the backs of us, but then not give to us off the rip. And it's over for that. Because the moment that the city of Jackson truly actually revolved around Jackson State and truly gave to Jackson State, that's gonna really be the game changer. But go ahead, kid.
No, my question was, it was just, so who enforces that? And you see what I'm saying? Like there'd be a lot of questions that'll come from that.
Oh,
And I
oh,
guess
is
that was
who can enforce it? Well, actually, Jackson State could put the call out, but understand that when I say Jackson State, it's not just a school. Because bear in mind, you got pretty much all the legislators from the city of Jackson are all Jacksonians. Then on top of that, you got the city, and when I say the city, I mean all the beautiful, beautiful, fine black folk in the city of Jackson. It could police itself, and so all Jackson
okay.
State could lead the charge. And then again, um, we know some legislators personally, but
So
they could actually get the things in motion. Go ahead.
so here's what I was really here's a thought that came to mind. The question that's gonna be asked is, well, why didn't y'all do this when Prime was there? And that goes back to what I was saying.
That's
Maybe, just
that's the
maybe,
easy answer. That's
the
the easy answer.
consideration need to be.
That's the easy
Go
answer.
ahead, you can answer
What
because we might be thinking the
I
same
gonna
thing.
say
Go ahead.
that I'm gonna say, oh, we didn't do it because you know what? We gonna admit we didn't really know our value. We were asleep, but baby, we woke now. It's a new day. We got new. But guess what? Because new information gives new decisions. We got new data and new
Well, and then
information now.
two, and then sometimes your greatest opportunity is a screw up. Let's just call it what it is.
For sure.
You know, you never want to waste a good screw up. You never want to waste a mistake. That's one of the things, man. You talk about Ralph Phillipsism. That's a Richard Clarkism right there. Don't waste a good mistake.
Man,
You mess up,
preach, preach.
lean into it and figure out what do I need to do to prevent this from happening. And usually, there's an old saying where they say spit happens, happens, right? But the greatest fertilizer is manure. You get what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You can make a mess, and it can be a lot of fruit that can come from that. And maybe that's the thing. Sometimes you can be handed something, and you can be shown, you know what, you're not ready for this, right? You're not ready for it. But you can get ready now because before you knew you weren't ready, you thought you were ready. And I gave you what you needed. And this is how you spend that personally, individually. And you realize this is how you pull the silver lining out of it. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't make you're wasting time dwelling on the things you can't change. So you got to change how you feel about it. That's why I say you give people time to get the emotions out and you just kind of move on from it. Because at the end of the day, the stuff that you can't change is not coming back to you. It is what it is. And I hear the word infrastructure. We got to put the right infrastructure in place and make sure that we are doing what we need to do on our end, because there's narratives out there. You take stuff like the 13% giving of alumni, and you got to realize, I love what BJ said. Shout out to BJ from Southern. I haven't looked at, I wasn't in his spaces. I just going strictly off what I've seen on Twitter whenever I would get on there. But he showed how deeply underfunded we have been over the years at HBCUs, right? And like he said, well, the notion that people think that you can donate your way out of that is absolutely asinine. You know what I mean? So you're not really dealing with real facts when you start speaking like that. But when you talk about 13% giving, that's still higher than the average rate of where people really are. The average line, I want to say, is around 10%. And we hit 13%. We used to be around single digits. Remember, we had a meeting with President Hudson on the 1400 Club call, and how we've grown from 7% up to the 13%. And somebody may ask the question, well, how can you figure that out? One of the things I like to see, and this is just something that I voiced in our own chat today, like I want to be more specific. I think we need more streamlined initiatives with clear communication and clear details on how to donate. Neely said something on his video. We talked about we should have a text code that we should be blasting, that we should be showing on the Jumbotron at every single football game. If you want to donate to athletics now, listen, I don't know how the thing works, but I know one thing. Last time I was on the Spaces, I want to say the gentleman by the name of Travis, a white gentleman who was worked in athletics that worked for Alabama State, he talked about how in most HBCUs, when the money goes in the pot, it all goes into one fund, one general fund. You get what I'm saying? I got to learn more about that in order to speak on that. For those that know about how that works, Ken Clark ain't the one that knows that. So when someone says, because there were things that got out there like, oh, there was some misappropriation of funds when it comes to this. I don't know the answers to that. I don't know, but this is what I do know. If all the money going into one pot, then there is no separation of funds. So you know what I'm saying? So now at this point it becomes mere allocation for this or allocation for that or a budget for this and a budget for that. And
But
again,
hold on,
we gotta
Ken. To that point, man. Let me, because you said something, man. I don't know. We touched on this yet. Hey, man.
Go ahead.
What we got to stop doing too. I understand that they say this, but until something's out there in the open, in black and white, or something brought up, we got to stop taking the first thing we hear and grabbing the baton and running with it. Because when somebody has a narrative and they control the agenda, I mean, it's two sides to every story. And it's like we hear an accusation, and it's not even a real accusation. It's just like, I'm gonna throw some shit out there, and then it's like we grab it and run it. We haul ass with it. Oh man, they mismanaging funds. Says who? We gotta stop that. But I'm gonna say this too: when it comes to adding extra money, y'all ain't gonna like this, but it needs to be done. Cause we've been harping on buying season tickets, and man, damn it, folks just don't want to do it. So for all the people who want to walk up on game day and get a ticket, we're gonna create a special JSU charge to add to your ticket on game day for them walk-up tickets. And all them tickets right there, that's gonna be an extra boost and pay for JSU. Need to have it. Because we're gonna incentivize you buying season tickets.
I feel like if we had some, we need something in place. Remember, shout out to Marcus Jones. We was talking on the sideline at the game. He had a great idea for a campaign. Bro, right here on this channel, we did some crowd surfing. We paid for the and it's literally that simple. It's as simple as saying, we need this. This is how much it's gonna cost, and this is when we need it by. When you put those kind of things in the hands in front of people, so we have to. Now this is an admonishment to Jackson State, because we got 400, 500 people on this thing. And this ain't no cry over prime session. It's time to roll your sleeves up. You get what I'm talking about? It's time to get your hands dirty and let's address some of the issues we got, because you ain't gonna fix the issues by responding to fuckery on the internet. If somebody coming at you hot and heavy with some accusations, the best way to overcome that stuff, what you say, is to come out clean, is to put your head down and do the work, right? We have to do a better job of communicating on our end, because too often we don't know. I'll give you a perfect example. And somebody could be mad at me for saying this. We had a day of giving on November the 29th. We didn't know if it was for Coach. Dead ass, bro. We didn't know if it was for Coach. What are we trying to do? Are we donating to what? It's cool to donate. It's cool to say go donate. But you know how you can get more donations? Specificity, clear communication, obtainable targets. Real tangible initiatives. Not saying that I ain't trying to step on no toe, but I'm a businessman. I have a budget I have to turn in. I have a forecast I have to turn in every single Friday on my own job. So I'm looking at numbers all the time. And I'm saying we could do this. And when you got somebody like a Prime that's sitting in your establishment, is a businessman. Got multiple endeavors. He know numbers. And he also know the numbers ain't right.
And
I don't know what happened.
drop
And
that
guess
link,
what?
dog.
And guess what?
Dash for a number. Drop that link. Drop that link. Dash for a number. So drop that link. And I ain't mean to cut you out, by the way. They were blowing it up saying they want to call, but drop that link.
Oh, you go. Yeah. I think it just went out.
Go ahead,
So
bro.
all I'm saying
My
is,
bad.
no. I'm done. I'm just saying, like, we listen, man. I try not to look at the ignorance, bro, because sometimes I respond to it, and I probably ain't gonna respond in the way that they want to respond. No response. So what I've done is I've avoided the fuckery because I've have been known to get sucked into some of the foolishness at times, and I'm trying my best to avoid a lot of that stuff. So I just stay away from it. Now, with that being said, in the meantime, in between time, for me, it's just about what do we need to do to preserve, what we got going on and build from there. Because at the end of the day, it's about student athletes. Who did you join? Jerome, let me add you to the stream. Hey, Jerome, what's going on, man? Jerome from Charlotte, North Carolina. You're on
What up,
live, baby.
Jerome?
Yes, sir. How y'all fellas doing, man?
What's going on, Jerome?
All is well.
Good,
So
baby.
I just want to chime in. Number one, thank you guys so much for providing this platform. I've really been enjoying it, and I thank you for bringing up the previous points that you guys brought up about being specific, being strategic and intentional. That is so true, man. When it comes to fundraising and mentorship and just any endeavor Jackson State's trying to do. So I want to know from you guys, like, what would you like to see from us? Would you like for us to? Because I know you mentioned a couple of times, Ken, that you've connected with your company and you got partnerships. Do you guys want us to do the same? To reach out to our companies and see if we can get partnerships and internships with the university. To me, that's very specific. That's how we can sew back into Jackson State. Right. So what do you guys? What is your vision?
I'm gonna say this.
All right.
I'm gonna go first, Ken. I'm gonna say this. To be honest with you, Jerome, it's so multi-layered. There is no wrong answer. To be honest, I encourage every person that can hear my voice on this thing, do the very thing that Jerome just suggested. Go to your job and see what you can do. Each one reach one. And it don't have to be. It doesn't have to be this one front, this one unified front, just on this one entity to get something done. Because you know what, it's just like money, right? We call it currency. It flows through different creeks and avenues, right? Well, we can do the same thing, because at the end of the day, we're just trying to get retention, and we're trying to get money in every way that we can. Because again, like I mentioned earlier, Jerome, you could, in North Carolina, they may have something different within your state that I'm not even privy to, that I have no clue about, that you can say, Zo, we could do X, Y, Z, and it could be a damn good idea. I know nothing about it, and I can say, damn, you know what? Let's do that. Somebody else, I can reach Diamond, could be, let's just throw an example. She could be in Texas. Oh man, Texas has X, Y, Z. They do this certain thing over here in Dallas. We could do that, because guess what? Hell, Jerome, I could give $50 to you this week for what you're doing, and hell, I can get Diamond $50 the next week. It's still going to Jackson State. So there is no wrong answer. The thing is, we have to be radical. I'm going to use Ken's term. We need alternative ways, because what we've been doing, or the lack thereof, ain't been working. So there is no wrong answer. The thing is, right now, we got to do something, bro.
And you know what?
So
yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, man, Jerome, I know who you are now. It just dawned on me. I know who you are because of the question you asked. I'm like, hey, I didn't. I was like, wait a minute, that's Jerome. Hey, first of all, man, appreciate you, bro, for coming on,
yes,
man.
Yes,
much love to you, bro, because the question you asked was perfect. Zo made a good point. That's a great thing that we could take away, and I think, like I said, at the end of the day, going back, And now I want to go and really, I know there are some things we do have some HBCU initiatives in my company, and there's some things I actually had a hand in handling and doing and participating in with ideas and stuff. But at the same time, the word that you said, and I'm so glad you said it, and I've heard this from my director who I work directly with, obviously my boss or whatever, intentional. We have to be intentional, intent about what it is we're trying to accomplish. And I really think that's the meat and potatoes of anything, because we did some very small things with this small platform that's growing just because there was a need. When there is a need, you have to figure out what the need is. All right, what do we need? And that's why I put that on Twitter today. I said you can accomplish a lot of things by answering one simple question. What do you need? And once we establish what we need in place, then we get into the strategy and the specificity that comes behind how do we get from this place to that place. Because now we have to build the infrastructure in place. Because we saw it. We saw what it could look like. Coach Prime did give us a blueprint of what it can look like. But we got to get into a point where, regardless of how we want to see it, athletics is very important, i.e. specifically football. It's your number one money generator. And y'all know what football means to us. There's some things that we can do immediately that could really put things over the top for us at Jackson State if we just – I feel like this, and I don't mean to step on no toes with anybody. But sometimes what we do, Jerome, we take this – don't say nothing, hush, hush. Everything is so silent, it's so quiet. Everybody's holding information. You got 15 people that act like they got all the information in the world, and ain't nobody saying nothing, and there's no communication that's crossing channels. It's like hitting a brick wall, and we get nothing done, and we stay flat-footed, and we fumble. And that's all I'm saying. So I'll pause and let you rock.
No, you're good. And let me ask you guys. So one thing we've been doing with our Charlotte alumni chapter is asking them, like, hey, we can double our results. So most of our companies, regardless of who you work for, they actually will match your gift. So instead of sending the money directly, let's say, to the Development Foundation or directly to Jackson State, there's a portal on your website, or your company's website, when it comes to giving. You can choose Jackson State's option there, or the Development Foundation, or athletics, and your company will actually match your gift up to, I believe it's $5,000. So I feel like that's an immediate impact that we can have, not just for the athletic department, but for Jackson State. I think that's very strategic, and if we can maybe roll out a plan, to get that done, I'm all for it. There's so many other ways, like I know a lot of credit card companies will allow you to, turn in your cashback rewards as a gift. There's so many different options to give. But I know it, like you mentioned, it's kind of omni-channel as far as various options on how to give. But one thing I'm noticing, man, with a lot of the students at Jackson State, like the average student, they're saying, hey, we need some additional items for the Tiger Closet, for professional development. Like, can we partner? Like, can we connect with an alum who might be in that space on the corporate side to get Jackson State like a partnership, so the students can have enough professional attire for interviews or internships, things like that. So I think Zoe hit it on the head. Like, we can do multiple things at once and still have a huge impact. So if you ever had to do a show, about various means on how to give or what we can do, I'd love to see that and maybe contribute in some capacity.
Hey, I'll be reaching out to you. We could do a show on Tiger Talk. One of the reasons why I even do lives, honestly, is because, people think, oh, man, I love your podcast. Well, our podcast is Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. This channel, we just go live and talk and allow people to really express themselves, kind of go a little off the radar. And that was the whole purpose of this. That's why we do it. And but we definitely are going to do that. Definitely. Okay. I'm going to even reach out to you via other forms of social media. And let's make it happen, because here's the other thing. I talked about this earlier. We talked about controlling the narrative. People have power, but media is extremely powerful tool. If you don't believe me, look at what Coach Prime was able to do with recruiting. And Zoe, to your recollection, did Coach Prime ever step one foot into anybody's house in 2 years? I don't think he did. I think he's solely recruited.
Not a one.
He's solely recruited via social media. But when you have platforms, you can tell your own story. You can also And that's why we're trying to grow this thing to the point to where, because it is important when you have so many other platforms that can take the, information, whether it be true or not true. But it can be very detrimental if it gets into the wrong hands and people start pushing that. You get what I'm saying? Because then at that point we're merely reactive at this point. We're not proactive. We're definitely reactive, and we're trying to. And that's why I said initially earlier, I know I got a little emotional because I got very frustrated with where I found, because I really had high hopes for us as a people, not just Jackson State. I really did have high hopes for this marriage of Deion Sanders in the HBCU world, Jack State being the face, and it just seemed like it just kind of dissipated, and we didn't really sustain it as much as we should have because we didn't have the right stuff in place to do that. And somebody may take that the wrong way, and I really don't care. I'm not trying to step on any toes. I'm just telling you that's what really happened. Somebody can say, well, what Deion's intent was to lead. I'm not speaking on another man's intent. You got to let him tell you what he thought and what he did, why he did it, or whatever. So I just wanted to say that, but we'll definitely be reaching out to you, bro, because that's the type of stuff that we need. And it'll be a little bit reactionary, but as we're reacting to what we didn't have, we can also be proactive to eliminate this from happening again. And that's just where we got to get to.
I appreciate it, fellas.
Appreciate you, man.
Hey, Jerome, appreciate you, brother. No doubt about it.
My boy Nugget in here.
Hey, Nugget in this thing?
Yeah, man.
Hold on, No, come on, man. Come on this thing. Nug, what's up, baby?
Yeah, nigga, go hit that link and come on, man.
Hit that link, come on, man. Let the people hear you, baby. It's a good brother right there, man. Rooting like a mofo for you, bro. Go out there and ball out, man, next week in Atlanta. I mean, super duper proud of you, man. We're gonna turn this thing around, make this thing back about football. We got all that other stuff out the way. The preliminary, we call them preliminaries. Now we are gonna be back on tomorrow night. And that, mind y'all, is gonna be a little bit more tightened with better bullet points. I just want to get the emotions out because, like I said, I sat, pondered, and hey, it's time to move on. And I make no mistake about it. I got none but love for Coach Prime, man. I'm not going out there bashing that man for what the man done gave us 2 years of fantastic, a fantastic high. I just didn't want to come down from it. You know what I'm saying? So, man, hate to see him go, but I initially I was like, man, hey, when we looked at them going through the facilities, man, that was hard, bro. I called you, bro. I said, oh man, that hurt. That hurt, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, it was really needed, bro. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? It's cool. Wish him the best, bro. Wish him the best. I ain't got no ill in my heart toward him or no one else, man. You know, you love on them kids, man. Kids that hit the portal today, I ain't show number love, and I got a lot of love back. I told Zoe, I don't know who I was talking to today and what he said. So I'm not gonna put that out there because sometimes when you get stuff, like I said, talk to multiple parents and they feel some type of way, man. But this is it's truly the I love, man. And when you love something, get emotional. I don't understand people that try to troll people and say that you're so emotional. Well, yeah, I have to be emotional about it because I do love it, which truly is the I love. So anybody want to come on, y'all? Come on, man. Yeah. Don't go and listen to that. Don't go and watch none of that other stuff, man. If you don't want to touch on it, because I'm done with it. But I had to go look initially, but I ain't going to look no more because I ain't really interested in that. And no, it may not be in the best interest to come on, but we gonna keep moving, bro. But no, I appreciate what Jerome had to say for coming on. Who that just popped on this day? Who that just popped on? Oh.
Man, you know I had to go on,
DJ,
man. My brother's on here.
What up,
Zoe,
DJ?
Man, you know
hey,
I
what's
got
up,
to
baby?
be on this mug, man. Hey,
What it do, baby?
Man, I want to say I appreciate you two so much, man. You two are like brothers to me, man.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you too, bro.
And this stream was needed because even though I'm not a JSU alum, I just love our people, man. I love our people, and I love when we succeed. And so when that news happened, I was just disappointed because I saw what it could be. Because what I was thinking, brothers, was 2 more years at least. Because I was realistic. I didn't say, oh, this can happen. He can stay for 15 years. I said 2 more years and the playing field can get leveled. But now, after this, the most important part is these kids and getting them drafted and going to other pro leagues and putting a good show. That's all that matters. And yes, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, has to coach this game. It's just the reality. Because if he's not coaching, Shadur's not playing. And we need him to play. You're not going to beat North Carolina Central without that. So, man, I really needed to hear this, man. I wanted y'all to know that I appreciate you two so much. And the train keeps going. Oh, can I say this, brother? For the mainstream media complaining and saying that Jackson State needs to move on, when they hire the new coach, they'll move on all right. They're gonna move. They're gonna move.
Hey, tell them again, DJ.
I want
tell them again, DJ.
Shannon Sharp, all these elites out here that don't care about HBU. Keyshawn Johnson that didn't even visit the game but wants to visit in Colorado. Jackson State will move on when they hire this new coach because of all the people saying, "Man, Jackson State got to move on. They too emotional. They crying. They're gonna move on all right, and it's gonna be a celebration."
Well, I think it's okay. I think we have to get out of this notion of feeling like we can't have a moment to be emotional.
Right.
We really love Shador. No, let me say. I said Shador. We love Coach Prime.
Hey, Ken, let me
say this.
Drop another link for Nugget.
Hey, the link's on there, Nug. Just scroll up. Somebody dropped it. Well, DJ, you can do it. This is all I want to say. Man, let me hold off on that. If Nug coming on this thing, I'm gonna shut up and let Nug rock. Fan favorite right here, man. Good brother, man. Definitely a good brother. But this is what I was saying, and when he come on, I'll let him have the flow. Man, we saw Coach Prime bring his whole family to Jackson State. You follow what I'm saying, bro? I'm talking about the whole family, bro. And it's a beautiful sight, man. And you can't go from loving somebody when they're with you to all of a sudden they public enemy number one. Because then at that point the love ain't real. And the love I gave was genuine. I don't, we can split hairs on the details of how things might have ended and how we might have wanted to see things handled a little bit better or whatever you want to do. That's fine. But at the end of the day, that negative stuff is always going to fall by the wayside, and the good is what you're going to remember. They say you never forget. You might forget what I did, but I never forget how you made me feel. Coach Prime gave us some great moments, and Coach Prime could very well, and I believe he's going to be the most important figure to this new renaissance, and the wave is going to continue to go. Because I did say this, though. I said Jackson State stood to lose the most in this Coach Prime sweepstakes, and here's what I meant by that. While Coach Prime was at Jackson State with this fire roster, and he was building this big time roster, right? Everybody around us was getting better to try to compete with us, right? Well, that's why we got to maintain what we built, because you fall by the wayside now, hey, man, you got some juggernauts around you now because they was built to beat you, and now you don't have what you had to fight with anymore. So we have to make the right hire. We have to stabilize the program. We have to attend the games more. We have to show the support more. You dig what I'm saying?
Man, you own it, man. TJ.
TJ, what up, man?
What going on, baby?
Oh, you got it. What's on your mind, Doc?
Let's represent, man. Man, this J-Town, baby. Hey, man.
You already know it, man. You know we resilient. Go ahead.
Hey, man, you got everybody, man. We got to see this through, man. We got to see it through, man. Take that brace, man. Take it on the chin. Listen. Look, man, I'm born and raised in Jackson, Mississippi my whole life, bro. It was good while it lasted. Everything don't last for long. Man, guess what, man? Y'all pick
Right.
yourself up, man. Let's represent, bro. This Jackson, bro. This Jackson State. We do this, bro. We do this for a long. We've been doing it for a long time. We fell off a little bit, but guess what? We back up there, and it's still JSU by 40.
Hey man, you right, bro. Hey, one thing about Jacktown, bro, that folk gotta understand, man, we've been taking L's for a long time, and they can't stop us. Get what we gonna do? We gonna shake back, and we gonna come back stronger than ever, man. And y'all know we up against a lot because again, man, who that is? Who that just popped on? There you go, Zobago. Okay, so I love what you're saying, bro. Hey, take it on the chin. Hey, but look, this is a good one though because we got a lot out of this, man. We got a perfect team right now, and you know they said Nug in the chat. Nug a part of that, man. Nug, you a part of history, bro. You a part of the greatest team to ever come through Jackson State, and no matter what nobody say, they can't take it away from us. That's why we gonna go get this last one. We gonna finish this thing 13-0, and we gonna culminate the greatest football season in the history of Jackson State football, and we all got a chance to witness it. And that's the thing that we really got to get back to. And then we got to turn the page, okay? We got to turn the page and let's elevate to the next chapter because the person that really comes behind Coach Prime is really, this is the most important hire in the history of Jackson State football. I'm going to say it again. This next hire is the most important hire in Jackson State football history. Yes, it is. Because if we make the wrong hire, we could really go, you know, in the wrong direction, and I don't think that that's what's going to happen. I really feel like we have an announcement coming. Oh yeah, come on, Nugget, come on this thing. What's Savion at? Savion, I done talked to Savion so many times, and we done texted and chopped it up and everything, man. Hey, listen, I done vented. The first hour was the Ken fussing and getting the bull junk out of your system hour. But now we got some of the players on there, man. We want to come on and celebrate you guys, bro.
Man,
We're going to flip it to you guys. Matter of fact, thank you for coming on and watching because, man, we really love you guys, man. We want the best for you guys. And that's why I was like, heck to the no. Man, Coach got to coach this game. We're going to come back together. Man, we can – hey, let me say this. I'm going to shut up. Why are we acting like we don't work? Everybody you work with, you don't like. Stop being fake and act like everybody you go to work next to, you in harmony with. Y'all lovey-dovey. Man, you go right to work tomorrow, and it's a joke at that job that you wish that you could backslap the taste out their mouth. But you know why you don't go up there and do it? Because you know you got a family. You know you got a house note to pay. It's gonna be business. You take your feelings out of the business and you handle your business. And we gotta keep the same thing and make the main thing the main thing. And we gotta finish, focus and finish. That's the mission. That's the mission. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Kid. They said JSU by 40 this year, right? I'm saying JSU by 50 next year. I'm starting it already. JSU by 50. If you ain't with it, get off the screen. Listen, we gonna protect the block, man. We gonna protect the block.
Damn right, yeah.
Man, hey Ken, your family. This is what I noticed, and y'all talked about it for a little bit. Recruiting, that everybody's so enamored with the transfer portal. I'm seeing throughout the timeline high school players, regular 3 stars, low 4 stars, like saying, like, man, like they're bothered by this. I'm telling you, that's going to be an advantage with Jackson State. And by February, not December, February, the second Saturday.
Well, that was what I said, DJ. It's 3 levels to the recruiting for our new coach. The number 1 level is recruiting the players that's already there and the players that possibly entered the transfer portal. Number 2, he can get the pick of the litter from the transfer portal, but more specifically, high school recruits. Go high school because those high school recruits are getting overlooked and they're not getting the offers that they used to because if you look out on any of your Twitter feeds, you follow these guys, they'll tell you. If you ain't top 300, you got a lot of diamonds out there, man, 3-star, 4-star kids, man, that's not getting the offers that they wish. So you're going to get some smaller schools some CIAA schools, some SIAC schools that's gonna get some top tier talent.
Yeah.
Because they getting overlooked on the D1 level. You get what I'm saying? Because of the transfer portal. Listen to this, y'all. Because of the transfer portal, a high school freshman can go to college, play on a lower level, earn his way up, and then go to the portal. Carl Reed, shout out to Carl Reed. Carl Reed was there. I know I ain't his favorite person right now, and it's okay. I already apologize. It is what it is. We move on from it. But here's what he said. Young man played an offensive line position. Young man, I think he went to Rhode Island or something like that, a FCS school. Took a regular Joe Blow type offer, and he went and played a season or two, hit the transfer portal. Dude got mad FBS offers, bro. So what people got to understand is some of these lower tier schools might look, that's going to kill the JUCO level, because now you see kids going to schools, possibly playing a season or two, increasing their value, and then hitting the portal. Because there's something about that portal that make coaches think they can just go and get their next national championship winning team. So I would just say the strategy would be to definitely recruit heavily in high school, because you're going to have the pick of the litter out there.
Bro, I don't think people realize a high 3-star in the FCS, that's value, man. That's equivalent of a high 4-star. This is what Jackson State could bring in February. And I'm not going to lie, brothers, man. I'm excited. For some reason, I think this whole situation is like motivation, the underdog for next year. Even though I think this team's going to be very talented. I have a good feeling. But it's going to be something to see.
All I gotta say,
hey man, anybody want to come on?
All I gotta say is JSU by 50. That's all I'm saying. JSU by 50.
TJ says on.
Man, that's on.
Big.
That's on like a chicken bone, man. JSU by 50.
Well, we might not, but I don't know. I mean, I dropped the link, so if y'all want to come on, feel free to come on, man. We is on and popping. Who else just? Somebody look like somebody else just joined. Let me see who this is. Coach Walker, big bro. Hey, before you even get started, Coach, I ain't aboard you, man. You know I was just cooling, man. Musa, how you doing, man? Give me just a second. Mute your phone, and then we gonna let Coach just join. Coach, go ahead and rock out, baby.
Hey, man, I just want to say I appreciate you guys so much, man. You and Zoe showed me and my lady a great time while I was in Jackson for the Southern game. I appreciate the hospitality. I appreciate the camaraderie. I just appreciate the love from the Jackson State family, allowing me to be a part of that. It's kind of like I said in the video that I did the other day, bro, we got work to do. Let's roll our sleeves up. Let's go to work. The moaning and groaning ain't gonna get it done. At the end of the day, yeah, the light will shine, but now is our time to go ahead and move this thing forward. We all collectively got to come together. I appreciate you guys coming on and expressing how you feel, because a lot of times people don't do that. They just take it and want to sit on it from time to time. And even you and I, and so as well, we've had conversations with DJ also, where y'all be like, Coach, you gotta let that go, bro. You got to go ahead and either say something about it or let it go. And it was our time to go ahead and speak on this, man. We got 43 in this chat. Guys, do these guys a huge favor, man. Salute these men for standing 10 toes down on what they feel. They standing up for their HBCU. It ain't a lot of folks that's gonna stand up for their school, bro. They sit back, take the lumps, they get mad, turn their back, and walk away. I know a lot of cats that's like that now. That would really piss me off. But it's high time, man, that we gotta understand our value. We understand our value. Nobody can take that away from us. And that, we got these people that they said want to make it something that is not, when they've never been to the place at all to see it for themselves. And I emphasize that as well. I'm sick and tired of hearing the Shannon and the Keyshawn, Shaquille O'Neal's, the Charles Barkley's of this world want to sit here and look down your nose at an HBCU, and you never touched foot on one. Never once came to Jackson to see exactly what's going on there. Never once got to meet the people at Jackson to understand exactly what they bring to the table and just their outlook on things in general. Never once got an understanding of they're trying to fight for just their little piece of the pie, just like everybody else is. It's like that around the country. And the bottom line is, somebody made a comment in another stream that I was part of. They asked a question about why is all of the HBCUs like in the middle of no man's land? Well, guys, guess what? When they decided they wanted to give us these land grants, which a lot of these HBCUs have not been given the monies that they're due to make sure that they're able to continue to keep putting back into the infrastructure of their HBCUs to make sure that they're able to continue to keep building. Once that starts happening on the state level like it's supposed to, we're going to see better things. But until then, we got to be smart, strategic, and get out here and do things in the manner in which we need to be self-sufficient. We've always been self-sufficient. We've always had sucky lemons making sweet lemonade while everybody was drinking and having a good time. And then you get them folks want to come over here and stick their face in the pot to see what's going on. How did y'all make that? Now, this is where you need to sit down and understand. Cut me a check. I'll tell you how to do it. See, this right now is the time for, like I said, we just got to move forward, guys. Believe in the process, put the plan together, and move forward. Like I said, I ain't want to come on here and take up too much time, man. I just want to let you guys know I appreciate y'all, man. We all in this together to keep fighting the fight. Like I said, when y'all send me the link for the give, I give. And there's nothing wrong with that. If it's $5, $10, $50, $100, $500, give. We got to support one another. If we ain't going to support, then what we talking about? And that's what it's all about. We got to support each other. That's all I got, brothers. Like I said, y'all keep on doing your thing. Hey, let's get them likes up for these fellas, man. They doing a good thing tonight. We got 506 in the chat. Y'all go
Appreciate
ahead.
you, Coach.
Give them the love, bro. Appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all, man.
Hey, no doubt, Coach. Much love to you, baby.
Yes, sir.
Hey, who we got next? I think it was Will. Will, what's up, baby? What's on your mind? No, it was Musa. Musa, what's on your mind?
First and foremost, I'd like to say what's up to you, JSU family. As you can see by my profile pic, I am a Gramblinite. What's going on, Ken? What's going on, Zoe?
Boo. Go ahead, bro. You got it.
I also got to give a shout out to my man DJ Raw Truth Uncut, giving you the raw truth you deserve. Yes,
Man,
sir.
The one that
brother,
you deservedly need.
Deservedly need. Yes, sir. Nah, man. I mean, I'll be watching like him and Coach on the YouTube. You know, all the YouTube HBCU guys on. I watch y'all dudes more than ESPN. I don't even really tune into a lot of that stuff. Only when the games is on. So it's just, I sit back and I look, it's just funny to see the talking heads like pop in. And, you know, what I noticed, I think the only celebrity I seen kind of take a very objective and logical stance was Bomani and who was of Willie D. You know, he always be real. And Comedy Hype. I like what they said. Because they was basically just saying that Bomani was saying that, you know, it's nothing wrong with him making a move. And I feel like my consensus talking to Jackson people, nobody's mad at him. They just upset. It's just like when a family member does something, they upset you. And what I reminded people, I said, what's funny is I don't remember this type of heat for LSU when Nick Saban bounced on them. I don't remember this type of heat when Tennessee got mad at Lane Kiffin when he left in the middle of the night. So it's just interesting to see that everybody's like, oh, they looking for a savior. I'm like, I don't like that. Like, I hate how they trying to phrase it. Like, people like, oh, we needed Deion. I was like, the whole time people was like, we don't expect to keep him. So it's nothing surprising that he made a move. It's just the fact of how it was executed and that it was more of a long-term message, I think, sold in the beginning. So people had a right. Like I said, Jackson has a right to be upset. Like, they had a lot riding on it. They laid out the red carpet. And of course, the other thing is with the HBCUs and funding, I think a lot of people are talking that don't really know how that stuff works. Like, they're saying, oh, it's the alumni's fault. They're not doing it. Like, how can you speak on that when you've never engaged in that? And you're talking about a campus of 10,000 kids compared to these big schools with 40,000, 20,000 students. Just is not right. And most of the people, the average Black American is not on par with the average white American. So that doesn't even add up from a socioeconomic standpoint. So I don't know. It's just a lot of interesting stuff. Moving forward, I see y'all kind of being like an underdog story, where it's like it looks bad to the public right now because we live in a short-term society. But I think in the long run, it's actually going to flip, and more people are going to support, because it'll be like, well, look, what do we need one person? It wasn't one person why people come to the games. Like it was a big, huge, Deion's a unicorn, but it's like people don't go to a football game and watch the coach. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the show. So now that y'all name is on a board and the swag is, kind of popping now, it's like it's up to the fans and the administration, the coaches and all like that, and the staff and the university to build off of this. That's all. It's not a death sentence. It's just, like I said, y'all have the right. People are humans. They got the right to grieve and be upset. Like it's, anybody after a breakup, nobody's just going to operate normally. But just call in to give y'all, a big ups.
Hey, brother, I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for tuning in, man. We're going to keep going. This momentum going to keep going. We're going to challenge ourselves to get better by looking in the mirror, asking ourselves, what can we do better? And we just going to proceed, man. Y'all know how we get down. You said you're grabbing tonight. We the better tiger in the conference. So you know how we do. Nah, I'm teasing, bro. But thank you, man, for the support, bro. And appreciate it.
No
I'm
doubt.
gonna get some more people in the chat. Yes, sir. Let's see who we got. Will, you up next? Will, what's up, baby?
Yeah, I just I like when people be able to talk, and just because you talk and they have an opinion about something doesn't mean that you hate on somebody, or you don't want to see them go out and do good or anything. I mean, a person can have an opinion about something that don't mean you don't want them to go do good, or you hate them or anything like that. The one thing that I have a problem with is, like when the HBCUs, they started doing something good. I mean, something happened. I mean, it was a positive thing for HBCUs, and the PWIs, they see something that we're doing good over here, and like when Deion Sanders, he got Travis Hunter, they knew it was a problem. And I think a lot of other people realized it was a problem because Coach Prime was going to be able to get a lot more players, and they couldn't let that happen. Right there. So they had to.
Yeah, Coach Prime was definitely threatening the power structure in college football. Go ahead.
Yeah, they knew that was a problem right there, so they had to get in there and stop it, and they was able to get in and they was able to stop it, and I'm kind of confused right now, but I'm just gonna. It's kind of late, and maybe I started too late with y'all, but I'm gonna let.
No. Let me say this before you go. That could be true. Two things can be true at the same time, right? Solidify. I'm gonna mute you because I'm getting some background noise.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna mute you too. There we go. So two things can be true at the same time. That we just said can be true. At the same time, we still got to do better business. And Coach Prime was always saying that. So we can't have it both ways. So all right, let me say it this way. If we know that that's the case, because we don't have the financial power that the Power Fives have to be able to just walk up with a blank check. Hell, they don't even have the money to pay him yet. They got him on layaway right now. We can laugh about that because they said straight up and down, we ain't got it now, but we gonna have it. And they are gonna have it. They got amazing facilities. They're a Power 5 program, 1 in 11 school, and they stuff looks amazing, right? We can't make it that easy because there's so much bull junk going on and we got so much bad business practices. I'm not saying that I know everything that's going on. I'm just going off of what he said and what is starting to come out from his side. which, like I said, I can't confirm or deny. And when you can't confirm or deny, you just have to sit back and say, all right, I got to find out what's real and what's not real. So that's why I say we got to do what we can do on our part to build this thing up, so we'll be able to withstand some of the pull. That's all. That's all I got on that. But you right on, brother. It's kind of a conundrum, you know. You want to be happy, but you're also sad at the same time. That's why I was very disappointed in how it ended, because I just didn't. We knew it was going to end. We knew it was going to end, and we knew it wasn't going to be forever. Many of us just didn't want to see it end so fast, and many of us didn't want to see it end the way it ended. And it's okay with saying both of those things. You get what I'm talking about? So I appreciate you, bro, for coming on, man. Solidifies. I think that's what it. What did it say? Solid life. Solid life. Solid life.
Thanks a lot for
There
having
you
me.
go, baby. What's on your mind, brother?
All right. Peace. First of all, peace to all the brothers on the panel. Much
Peace to you,
respect
brother.
due to you, Ken, you know what I'm saying, because you've been putting in work and giving us the media access for Jackson State for a long time. So I commend you for that.
Appreciate it.
DJ Raw Truth as well, you know what I'm saying. Enjoy your channel. But let me just say, I have like some things that I just wanted to get off my chest, you know what I'm saying, because I just think that, well, see, I fell in love with Jackson State with nothing that was involved in sports, you know what I'm saying? So my compassion for Jackson State is when it was Jackson College, and the death of Gibbs and Bell at the hands of the police for racial injustice, right? So I knew then, and I had a feeling then about the state of Mississippi and what we go against as Black people, and what has been our history here with, you know, who I call chicken with no seasoning, right? The pale people. So the reason why I mention that is because that drew me to have compassion for the university, right? And then we have to take pride in all HBCUs because this is for us. Okay, I'm gonna just lay that out there. And we have to love us more than they hate us. And so what I mean by that is that I just heard a lot of things by a lot of people that's way beyond the pale and scope of such visceral attack on Coach Prime. And one of the things that Coach Prime to me is like equivalent of if Michael Jordan went to North Carolina A&T and took their basketball program, you know, to the highest championship. I mean, you know, I mean, that's mind-boggling. So the point that I'm making is that we have to do better. You know what I'm saying? Because HBCUs, number one, was owned by them, started by them. Okay, because they didn't want the Black intellectual to fall into the hands of Marcus Garvey. But anyway, not to be too long-winded and go into that, let me just say by us doing better, the point that I'm making is you have to follow how things go. Coach Prime was looking for Power 5 jobs before he came to Jackson State. He happened to land at Jackson State. And then, so you knew that his intentions were to be at maybe one of these Power 5 schools. Now, you cannot blame him and attack him for that. Not saying you as far as people on the panel, but I'm saying the public in general. Because we have to look in the mirror. Like, what do people do? They go to HBCUs, they get the education, they graduate, and then immediately you go to a predominantly white institution for a job. All right. So how much have they given back to the universities that you graduated from? Roland Martin is talking about it all the time. I mean, you have 13% of Jackson State alum give back. 5% of FAMU alum give back. And FAMU is steadily promoting that they have the highest amount of lawyers, etc., that they put out into the nation. So my thing is, there are things that we can do within our power financially. What Martin Luther King said, that we are individually are poor, but collectively we are having one of the strongest financial bases in the world, right? So this is what I get from Coach Prime. It's like it's a studying blueprint, as what he called it. He left the blueprint, and we have to study that. You know what I mean? Don't get mad at him. Study what he left and what he magnified. You know what I'm saying? And the point that I'm making is 60,000 of alumni from Jackson State. Okay, if we have 60,000 alumni from Jackson State, and each one of those alumni gave just $100, that's $6 million right there. Boom, like that.
All right. So can I add something? Can I stop? Can I pause? Put a bookmark right there for one reason.
Absolutely.
Every time I hear that, 50,000 alums, you're absolutely right. 60,000.
Right.
The question that I have for us, because you said a lot.
Right.
Boy, we could spend all day talking about what you did.
Right.
That's it. The thing, it goes back to the earlier part of the show where I was saying we have to, you know what we really need, bro? Solid life. We need to be able to touch all 60,000 at the drop of a dime.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? We need to be able to, like, this is what I'm trying to say. How does Jackson State connect with those 60,000 alums at the drop of a dime? We have an initiative. How do we access this quickly? How do we do that?
Well,
and that's the question that.
But see, I got something better for you, though, Ken. I got something better for you. We shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to. Like I said, the compassion that people have for their universities, you should, you know what I mean? Give back.
We
give
should.
back. Give back. We should.
But
we need to. We need to.
All right, but here's what I'm saying. We're not.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
No, I'm gonna get probably cussed out for cutting you off, but they're gonna say, "Ken, you talking over? Shut the hell up."
That's all right. It's all right.
I apologize, but this is all I'm saying. We should, but let's acknowledge that we're not, and let's just move on. So, because we're trying to get to solutions. You see what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. One of the solutions is when you graduate, give back. Period. Point blank. Period. Don't question it. We all have Beats headphones. We have things that we want to buy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but you don't take nothing. You know, go on the page. You can give $100. You can give $500. You can give $1,000. If you're really balling, you one of these high profile like David Banner from Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? You can drop 25,000 and have your name on a brick, or have a lecture series. You see what I'm saying? It's pockets for everybody. You can get in where you fit in. Give $1, give a quarter. But I'm just saying, if 12,000 people gave $1, that's $12,000. But I'm just saying we have to look at things proactive. You know what I mean? We have to be proactive. That's something that's within our control. And also, when Coach Prime was on 60 Minutes, he said to the national audience, "I wish there was some politician out there," he said, or a billionaire, right? That would say, "Let me go help. Let me," you know what I'm saying? So that I can see what it would be if he had the same resources. I heard him say it. I know they heard him say it. My TV worked just like their TV worked. So you have Dr. Dre gave $30 million to USC. USC don't need no $30 million. Now I'm not going to tell that man what to do with his money, but at the same time, I'm telling him what to do with his money. You black, you know what I'm saying? We got HBCUs. $30 million to an HBCU is going to go way further.
I think that answers that gives cause to a question as to why that we don't see that. I know that was the conversation about Diddy, pledging $1 million. That conversation can go way left.
Right. I mean,
I want the panel, some of the guys that's on here that they want to chime in, but a couple of things, because I feel like it's gonna get long. But one thing I do want to say, and I think you're absolutely right. I'm gonna give my little 2 cents. Take 1 minute of your time. You're absolutely right about Coach Prime. Great analogy. I actually shared that analogy today. I said Coach Prime coming to Jackson State was like Michael Jordan. I swear to God, I'm not kidding. I literally said that today. Now, with that being said, you go back to what Bomani Jones said. Can't believe that I'm quoting Bomani Jones because I felt like I was against Bomani when Coach Prime first came. And I was like, he just hating, right? You addressed that. You said we're not just hating. Bomani said two things can be true at the same time. He also said that he would have took the Colorado job. Great point that you started off with. We all know that Coach Prime wanted to be a college football coach. He wanted to be a Power 5 coach. Interviewed for Florida State, didn't get it. He interviewed for Arkansas. Very disappointed that he didn't get it. He was sold on the idea of coming to HBCU. Gave him an opportunity, perfect marriage, yada, yada, yada. Here's the thing. The only thing that people want everyone to acknowledge, we will defend Coach Prime still. Just stop acting like the big dream of leveling the playing field wasn't something that was sold. That's what Bo Money's point. And that was the thing that everybody, when you ask the people who have said that they were hurt and they were emotional, those people follow up and say, well, the reason I was disappointed is because Coach Prime said all this stuff and it just feels like he left before he completed the mission. And that is what they're saying. But what's happening is people are drowning out the people that are telling you plainly what the issue was. And they're saying, you shouldn't feel that way. You shouldn't say nothing. You shouldn't say anything. You should stop being emotional and just be grateful. And that's some of the problems. And that's why nothing is getting understood and people are just talking at one another. Nobody's listening.
Right.
Therefore, it's two sides. And it seems like this social media war. He's a sellout. No, he's not a sellout. He's a snake oil salesman. No, I think what we should do is just celebrate one of our greatest ever. He came to one of our greatest institutions.
Right.
There was a 2-year marriage. We did some great things.
Back-to-back
and now we both are going to go on to our next level of greatness. He has a challenge. He has a great challenge in front of him. He going to Colorado. They were 1-11. Jackson State has a great challenge ahead of us. We had Coach Prime. Now we got a blueprint. What do we do? So while Jackson State is formulating their team, we're formulating our strategy. We're rounding up the troops and we're getting things in order so we can build on this momentum. Coach Prime is doing the same thing. He got momentum. He's building a staff. He's building a team so he can go be successful. So what I hope is that both parties win and we can get back to celebrating each other and we can stop all the mudslinging from both sides. That's my hope.
Absolutely. And to add to that too, Ken, it's, another thing that you can learn from Coach Prime is the importance of relationships. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
In doing the press conference, Colorado was discussing ways that they could give back to Jackson State. That was overlooked. So, you have a powerful.
It wasn't overlooked. It wasn't received because we were emotional.
Right. Well, I'm not saying by y'all, you on the planet.
I'm not correcting you. I'm not even correcting you. I'm saying we were emotional, and you know what I heard? Man, we don't need a charity. They make it like we a charity case. You know what we could say? You know what? Coach Prime ain't coming back. You know what, bro? If you want to send us a couple millions, we're going to take them joints.
Exactly. I'm just saying you got to work relationships. You definitely got to
We're going to take that bread.
You got to work relationships.
Hey, look. I'll give you another one. Coach Prime said he wasn't for money games, but that don't mean the next coach won't. I tell you what, you want to schedule a Jackson State Colorado game in 2 years for 1.5? Hey, we'll take it.
But he might make it more. Like, y'all come on, we'll beat you down for like $5 million.
But to your point, and I want everybody else to get in because I don't want, it sounds like we're having a one-on-one conversation. But
yeah, my bad, bro.
You said relationships. Man, please come on the stream as often as you like. I mean, I love it, man. I love interacting with everybody, and that's why we do this, because we want to get everybody's perspective, and I don't want to be doing all the talking. Somebody else just came on. Let me get Randy real quick, and then I'm going to get to you, Dave, if you don't mind. Randy, what's up, brother?
Not a problem.
Wait a minute. Is that Dave from North Carolina A&T?
Of course it is.
Man, what's up,
You don't
man?
think you don't think
Oh,
I'll be lurking? You don't think I'll be lurking these streets, man? I lurk everywhere. I lurk everywhere.
when I heard your voice, bro, I said, wait a minute. But I'm gonna let Randy go, and then you got it next. Go ahead. What's up, Randy?
Now
What's
you in,
going on,
man?
man?
Nah, I'm down, man. Cause I'm over here building arcade machines, and don't sweat it. So just let me know when you're ready.
Hey,
I'll
hey,
go on mute.
Ken, before he go, man, I'm about to roll out. I just want to say, man, thank you for having me on the platform. You and Zoe, and
Anytime, brother.
hey, man, this is a
Anytime.
great talk, and y'all stay blessed, man. Positive energy.
All right, DJ, peace out, brother. All right, go ahead, Randy.
What's going on, y'all? Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you, Randy. You got it. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Listen, man. Listen. The light is still bright on Jackson State. It's still bright. You know how many African American coaches, recruiters are out there that just didn't get their chance? Man, listen. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
is looking at Jackson State. Everybody. Coach Prime, what I think he ultimately did, because I heard him say that, you know, he had a thing with black coaches getting opportunities, right? Especially at the power 5 level, right? Went there, showed everybody how it's supposed to be, moved on, and he's giving somebody else a chance to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't understand
Yep.
that before. You know what I mean? But then I heard him talk. I was like, wow, okay. Because his thing is black coaches getting opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And like, I sort of get it now. You know, he definitely left Jackson State better than when he found it. You know, and it's just time to build, man. That's it. Take the feelings out of it. Take all that stuff
Yep.
out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it's a business, right? On that side.
Right.
And not enough of us is getting those chances. Now, it's work to be done on, both sides. Now it's time to just get it done. That's that.
So our hope is that him going from a Power Five job, we know that it's Coach Prime. In order for it to really be real, and Dave, you up next. We hope that another, let's say Willie Simmons. We hope Willie Simmons get an opportunity. I'm not trying to take Willie Simmons from FAMU, but if Willie Simmons can get a FBS job as a head coach, not a position coach, a head coach,
Right.
that would be great because we would see, a trend where, because how many times do we see coaches out there get opportunities and we be like, bro, look at their resume. They look like they just got out of college, man, and they already an NFL head coach or something, So, anywho, but Dave, what's up, Dave? I'm gonna let Dave rock out. What you got, baby?
What's going on, man? How's things? Hope all is well.
It's all good, man. Love to get your
Yeah,
perspective,
man.
man, on everything that's happening. I don't know how long you've been listening, but I'm gonna yield the floor
Now
to
I've been
you.
listening for. Now I've been listening for a bit, man. Like I think when Deion first got hired and I saw the presser, initially I said, God, I hope he doesn't bolt in 3 years or less, man, because I for me for him to do the impact to really like do the damage that he was talking, he would have to be there at least 5 years minimum, right? From my
Right.
perspective, right? So for me, it's like, all right, you got to be here 5 years minimum to like do the damage that you're talking. If you're not going to do that, the mission's not going to get done. But the positive thing is he was going to shed a light because a lot of the things that he was talking about at Jackson was occurring at a decent chunk of the HBCUs. Not all of them, but the bulk of them,
That's right.
right?
Right.
So cool, we're rocking. And so, he did his thing, won the SWAC twice, got a shot to have an undefeated season this year, got one more game to go. And so then he makes the decision to go, and I'm like, all right, so now he's going. He kind of walked out of there. I didn't like the way he made his exit. He could have smoothed that out a little bit better.
Right.
Way
Right.
better than the way he did. But, from the outside looking in, the first thing I'm thinking about is, all right, if Jackson can just make the right hire, they could probably keep this momentum going. But now it makes the SWAC competitive again, which is probably not a bad thing either. Because the one big thing I said, it was great that Deion came and had you guys back to prominence, but the way you guys are motorboating the rest of that conference didn't make the rest of the conference look good. Because it made, and I know some folks might disagree, but it made it look like, well, I think Jackson State's really good, but they haven't really played hardly anybody like that outside of the HBCU realm, so to speak. And
Right. Right.
I don't know if these other guys are any good because Jackson State is motorboating everybody, right? So,
Fair point.
I think, and I'm just saying, that's the first thing I thought. And when I asked the question after you guys beat FAMU 59-3, I got attacked. And I'm like, guys, if Jackson State motorboats the entire conference, it makes the rest of you guys look bad. It makes Jackson State look great. And then it'll just be the question of, it'd be great if they could go to the playoffs and you'll just get those questions. Because A&T got those questions when they had their undefeated season. That's how the North Dakota State matchup happened this year. That was supposed to happen in 2020. That's how that matchup happened, right? Because of the debate
Right.
of whether or not it was good, right? So that was my thing. I was like, it makes the rest of y'all look like y'all are in the same league as them, and that's what it looked like. So, but overall, man, I think it's gonna make the SWAC be more competitive, and it'll be interesting to see how it's gonna pan out next season. But that being said, I'm looking forward to the Celebration Bowl, man, because I think the two best teams in HBCU
Yeah.
football are going to be playing each other, so it'll be good to watch. It's going to be a hell of a game. I'm so
Yeah.
conflicted because it's Central, so it's it's putting me in a bad spot. But I do like their quarterback. Their quarterback's legit, but they keep stealing our players just like
Yeah.
they're stealing our coaches. So
Well, I'll say this though. So for those that are on the stream that don't, they I'm gonna be back on to my regular schedule with doing lives, and we're gonna get into the football piece because don't think for one second we're gonna be spending every single stream on the Deion stuff because, like I said, let's get it out of our system. We got to get back. We got another game to play, and I'm telling you, this team, North Carolina Central, the DB won the Defensive Player of the Year for the MEAC, and then Davis Richard is the Offensive Player of the Year. So the North Carolina Central got, they got a really good team.
legit.
I don't care what happened. That's not the same team. They had a bad game. It is what it is. And with everything that's kind of going on, we got a lot of guys that has entered the portal, which means that they're probably more than likely not going to go to Atlanta. Not a lot of guys, but a few of them. So we'll see what happens. But great points, man. I love the point about the competition level in the SWAC. I think that when you're selling a product and trying to really secure lucrative, revenue from a TV deal, you don't want to just see, teams just getting shellacked. Because those were the tough questions that came my way as far as, y'all ain't really playing nobody and we have to defend the schedule when you know how schedules work. And my thing was one of the number one reasons one of the main reasons I wanted to see Coach Prime stay another year is because of the class that we were building to add on to this team and the fact that we play Texas State next year in San Marcos. And I really wanted to see us play against an FBS school out of the Sun Belt and see what they were going to do against us. We had to go there. Now, that's a big question mark now because we don't know. Honestly, as of today, we don't know what our roster is going to look like next year. And that's okay. That's why I try to tell everybody it's all right.
But
We're going to be
like
fine.
Zoe said, But like Zoe said in the Inside HBCU football before Elon Musk shut it down, um, nobody does. I mean, A&T's losing players to the portal too. We lost one of our best linebackers to the
That's a
portal last week. So like
that's a great
nobody
point.
does. Like we're sitting here, we all trying to figure it out right now. We just hoping and praying at this point that folks ain't leaving. Like I'm sitting right here as an Aggie fan, hoping like I'm like 70% sure one of our quarterbacks is gonna jump in the portal.
Mm,
Pretty sure of it.
mm.
I'm pretty sure of it. I don't know which one, but I'm pretty sure one of them are. And considering that we've had so many, like our quarterback situation last season was insane. I mean, one game we had to play all four of them. So so it's
Wow.
so it's a miracle considering we started 0-3, we ended up 7-4. So and almost won the conference.
Yeah,
So
you guys
it's
finished strong. Which I thought y'all had the conference one, but Garner Webb.
I
Was
think
it Bryant? No,
everybody
it's Garner.
I think everybody at the beginning of the season was looking at Campbell and nobody was looking at Gardner
Yep.
Webb. Because like when we got close
Yep.
to the Gardner Webb game, once we beat Campbell, and I said, all right, let me see what's going on with Gardner Webb, and I looked at some of their games like, oh, this squad is good,
Yeah.
like really good.
Yeah. Campbell took a very strange nosedive after they lost to us, and then they followed up that loss to you guys. It's like they just nosedive straight to the. I didn't see them finishing the season like they did, but like I said, it gave you guys
Well,
an opportunity. And
their AD,
go ahead.
and Mike Minter didn't do them any service. They made the decision to go to your homecoming, which I'm pretty sure is popping. I've never been to one. Then they went to the greatest homecoming on earth, and then they decided to go to Rhode Island, to Bryant University, and I live in Rhode Island, so that's a trek. All right,
Yeah.
boom, 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 and then you got to play.
Yeah.
Then you got your classic game against Gardner Webb, get shellacked there, season's over. They beat
Wow.
Delaware State on the way out though.
Tough schedule.
Tough
Hey
schedule.
man, hey, it's gonna be fine, man. It's gonna be fine. Let me get Doc real quick. Doc just came on. Doc, what's up, brother? What's on your mind?
Yep, shout out to Doc, man.
Man, what's going on, Ken?
What's up, brother?
Just, hey, I'm good, man. Just
One
been
one
with the
thing
show.
I want to talk about the funding thing too, but we can get into that. We can, if you got a minute or two, we can talk about
Okay.
it later.
Yeah. We will.
But
We will. Go ahead.
all right.
Nah, I just talked about that on my show. We talked about different ways of funding and stuff. Like it's the way I see it right now. What you're saying as far as with the football, on the football aspect, it's going to be a tough game for the Celebration Bowl. Davis Richard is no joke playing the quarterback position. He's like to me, he's like a linebacker playing quarterback in a sense. So I would expect it to be a competitive game. As far as some of the players that hit the portal today, um, I sad to kind of sad to see him go, but that's the nature of the business now that we have with the portal going on right now. So and some things that Dave said, like it kind of run true. Like as far as the the competitiveness and the swag, like just being that dominant and like you said, just Jackson State being that dominant, that kind of questions the sweat, the rest of the the teams in the sweat, like what the hell are y'all doing? Like what are y'all doing? How y'all go, how are y'all gonna combat this?
Well, let me say. Hey,
Go
we
ahead.
didn't give a damn.
I
No,
know
we didn't
we
give a
didn't give a
damn.
damn.
We didn't
I
give
know
a
we
damn.
didn't give a
No,
damn.
no, 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 no.
I'm just
I'm trolling. I'm trolling now. I said we didn't give a damn what they did. We was trying to
No, let
run
me be
roughshod
clear.
over everybody.
Let me be clear. Y'all should not. Y'all should not give a damn. I'm just
No,
saying,
I know.
shit, y'all destroyed everybody. Like
And I
everybody.
loved it.
I
Loved
know.
it.
Listen,
That's why. That's
listen.
why we so
We did
disappointed
it
to
one
see
year
Coach
too.
Prime.
So I get it, but it's just the thing is y'all destroyed everybody and y'all didn't have a strong schedule. Like when we did it, we beat an FBS program. We beat a ranked FCS school. Like But like when y'all did it, but y'all destroyed everybody. Like it was insanity,
bro.
like
It's like, look,
Yeah,
insanity.
I would have loved to have ULM this year instead of last year. It
bro.
would have made the schedule.
It just like it just like the way we played this season, man. It's like we was before we was Bebo and we was jacking everybody in the neighborhood for their bikes and stuff. We ain't talking about before, we ain't talking about the end. We talking about in the beginning, in the
Look,
middle of
man,
the.
Hey, can I ask a
we
question?
got one more. We got one more bike to take. Now we're gonna
That's
get
right.
back to Jackson State smack talk in just a minute. I know all the Deion stuff, Coach Prime leaving, Coach Prime. Let me tell you something. I was happy to see him back today. I know somebody may not like that, but for reasons of, I'm gonna say it again. I want him to coach the game. He should coach the last game. I don't care about him going whatever. Colorado stuff, it is what it is. But I wanted to see him finish. I was happy to see the team back together, get back to the football piece because I think we got some players that's gonna get drafted. At least two. I think we're gonna get two players that get drafted in this class. I really do. I really do.
Who are those two? You think?
Uh, I absolutely think Aubrey Miller will get drafted.
Yeah.
I absolutely think he will get drafted. The second one is going to be either between Shane Hooks or Dallas Daniels. That's this. I can't.
I'm thinking Daniel.
It's. I'm thinking Daniels too, but Shane is man. He's a big body man. Got good hands, and it's going to come down to the pro day. I talked to Dallas Daniels' dad today. I was a little bit of concern as well as Coach Prime was coaching. I said, Mr. Daniels, I think as of right now, it's all a go. Unless something changes between now and next Saturday, we gonna Coach Prime gonna be on the sideline. I said,
So
now I will be covering East West Shrine game in Vegas, so I'll be out there with them when they have that game, so we can make sure we give him all the coverage that we can possibly get. And the only thing I'm gonna do is challenge everybody when we go get that coverage for Tiger Talk. We want everybody to share it because we want to do our part to try to make sure we're covering him in the greatest light. So go ahead.
So I got a question. What is the morale of the kids right now? Like, how's the temperature with the players as of right now?
Well,
Like,
what he said, which is what I love. He said, I'm asking you, Ken, because I don't want to ask Dallas because they're focused. That's from a parent, and that was a
That's awesome.
smart comment.
That's awesome.
And here's the other thing. You know who is leading the team right now? It has been the seniors. Aubrey Miller Jr., man.
Yeah.
Aubrey Miller Jr., man. He listen. One thing about this team, they've had cameras on them since they've been in Jackson State.
right.
They have an uncanny ability to lock in and get focused. So shout out to the coaches for creating an environment where there's a lot of noise, but they put them in a ball where they drown out the noise and make it to where they're able to focus in and lock in. And they've been able to do it for 12 straight weeks. There's no reason why we don't feel like I know Darius Richard is a great kid. That's why I can't wait to go watch the film and come back and do some breakdown shows on just the matchups. Just straight football talk. No Deion Sanders talk, no budget, no none of that stuff. Straight football. And we're gonna do that more than likely it'll be coming up in the next few days or so. So we're gonna do it.
Question, Ken. Do you
Go
think
ahead.
it's a good idea? Now, I'm thinking while the iron's hot, right? Lights on,
Mhm.
that Jackson State gets a coach in there quickly. And
Yep.
and I think personally that they should go the same route. Like a Ray
I am
Lewis. Like a
Stop.
Nah, y'all shouldn't do that. I don't think y'all should do that.
Stop.
That's just my opinion, though. I don't think y'all should go that route again.
why not?
So here, let me say this. You can't ever go that way again because there's only one Deion Sanders.
No.
Right.
That's the first thing.
That's a fact.
I know what
That's
you
a
mean,
fact.
Ray. I know what you mean, Ray. I know what you mean. But here's what I'm saying. Number one question, absolutely, we got to make a hire soon. The portal opened yesterday. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's the first thing. You want that name out there because you know what that does? It changes the storyline. And guess what's going to happen? When we hire a coach, it's going to be on all the news outlets, all the media outlets. Once
Okay.
again, you're going to have Jackson's name in the headlines. That's why you go ahead and make that.
Right.
The number two thing is I'm torn because I see it both ways. I'm big on my brother TC, okay? And I'm big on some of the other names as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say that's why it's great to have a good athletic director because they get paid a lot of money to do this job. And I honestly, bro, I don't see us going wrong either way because I see the pros and cons on both sides. But I kind of feel like if just a wild guess, I think we're going to try to go in a direction where we don't lose momentum immediately. You follow what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because you don't want to take too far of a drop off
And
and lose your whole roster.
That's right.
You lose your
Cam
whole
Newton.
You know what?
roster.
And the
You know who I
recruit.
think you guys should go after?
Who that?
Vincent Dancy.
Well,
That's
that
who I think
name
you guys
has
should.
come up, but that's a complete rebuild. We're not trying to rebuild.
Yeah.
Man,
All
let me
right,
tell you
listen.
something, man.
Uh,
I really want to see him
well,
with
no, yeah,
resources.
I'm
Like,
a
I
fan.
really do.
Of, I'm a fan of Vincent Dancy, but Vincent Dancy to me is a rebuild because he doesn't have a relationship with nobody. You don't go from Deion to Vincent. You basically gonna start over. You
All
basically
right.
gonna start over. Now we might be starting over anyway, but I do feel like if we keep certain things in place, we might be able to salvage a nice chunk of the players that could. Because I know I have one, two, three, four, five players that I've spoken with that's trying to figure out, hey, Ken, you know anything? And I'm like, I can't say either way because I don't want to be wrong and then have you go in one direction in your mind and then something else happen and you're disappointed. So it's a very sensitive thing. So what I'm advising the young men to do is have a real conversation with your family and look at the pros and cons of all options. You see what I'm saying? And that's why. So you take Josh Griffiths. Josh
Yeah.
Griffiths was entering the portal regardless because I knew Saturday at the game that his parents was like, it didn't matter if Dion was staying or going. He was out. You get what I'm saying? So they said before the game was over that they didn't know where he was going, but they know he was going to be leaving Jackson State. So that I expected. Um, Katron, I didn't want to see it, but I'm not shocked. Katron, former 4-star, he's a defensive lineman. There's some players that I would be very disappointed if to see them hit the portal. Now, I'm gonna say this, I'm shut up. Thank goodness we made it to the Celebration Bowl. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, because if we did not make it to the Celebration Bowl, it would have been a damn free fall in the portal today. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
What?
Everybody
All
would
right.
have been
Now,
everybody would have been
Celebration
transferred the
Bowl,
roster.
but that's what I'm saying. No. Celebration Bowl, it keeps a lot of the players that can transfer at bay. That allows us time to name a coach, let them meet with the coach, figure out what their way is, how they gonna go, and they decide then do they stay or go. Because
All
I
right.
think once we get a commitment for them to stay, we should be okay. Hopefully they don't get into the portal next year. But go ahead.
All right, Ken, listen. Just saying, I don't know what's going on, right? But just
Mm-hmm.
logic to me. If you replace Ray Lewis, who said that he wants to coach in the HBCU level, right? If you don't
Okay.
snag him because he's possibly bringing Ed Reed with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference?
Well, who's to say Ed Reed don't want to be a coach by himself? Who said he
Well,
gonna
I
partner with
get that
Raiders?
part.
That's true.
I get that part, right? But if he doesn't get an opportunity elsewhere, you know he's coming
Listen, man.
with Ray. But listen,
Hey, man.
wait.
Go ahead.
Hold up, Ken, because
I'm sorry.
if you bring him in in front of those kids are staying. I'm
All right.
saying.
But it's
He had,
You know
also, but it's
why I hold on. You
go
know
ahead.
why Randy, I'm gonna apologize because there's a lag.
oh really?
So no. I'm saying I chimed in because I be thinking you're done.
Okay.
Trust me, I'm doing this because I know the comments that's gonna come. I'm gonna get criticized for cutting you off. And I just want to say I apologize.
Don't worry about it.
All right. All right. No. I'm trying to tell you. It be sounding like you're done, and then I'll say something, and then you'll keep going. I'm like, oh, my bad. I'm sorry. So I just
Okay,
wanted to
all
put
right.
that out there. Go ahead. Doc.
All right.
Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead, Doc.
But I mean, what the way you see it, the way I mean, I think Ed Reed wants to coach. He wants to be a coach by himself. He wants to be a head coach by himself. I don't think he wants to be that coordinator type right now. But um, I mean, who's to say? Um, I mean, like I said, who's to say we do get Ed Reed? Who's to say we get Ray Lewis? Who's to say we get any type of celebrity coach? We need somebody in there. I mean, to get in there, like you said, quick, fast, and a hurry, so we can stop that bleed. You know, we can try to
Exactly.
contain the bleeding.
Right.
Like you said, Dancy is going to be a rebuild. TC, in a sense, I've seen a lot of people in the chat saying it will be a rebuild also. But we just need people in there that would just, you know what I'm saying, stop the bleeding. Like,
But
hey,
Doc,
Well, I think it's a misconception of the type of rebuild when you
mm-hmm,
factor in TC. TC has the ability to recruit and retain a lot of the players that's on the roster. Um,
okay,
so any coach you bring in is going to be a rebuild because you're going to lose the bulk of your team. So let's get that out there. This is a transfer portal era of college football.
I
That's
feel you.
just how it is. Like James said earlier, nobody knows what their team's going to look like. And I'm telling you, I told Zoe today, I said, Zoe, we like Baltimore and whatchamacallit, Randolph off of goddamn, what was that, Coming to America?
Coming to
We're
America.
back. And here's what I mean. We recruiting guys. So Bubba McDaniel, Andrew Body, all these disgruntled, possibly disgruntled quarterbacks. We need a quarterback next year. So we just don't feel bad if we go to, you know, kicking the tires on a few players if we, that's where we go. We might have to do that. But let me say this. The thing about this whole thing, in my opinion, bro, you got 4 jobs that's open right now. You got Delaware State, you got Bethune-Cookman, you got Arkansas Pine Bluff, and you got Jack State.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jack State gonna be first in line because we pay more than all of those positions. And you got the momentum and you got the heat behind Jack State. I do feel like there's going to be an announcement coming soon. I think this week. Don't be shocked if you hear an announcement by Thursday. And I'm going to
By
just tell y'all
Thursday,
like this right here.
he can
I'm
do
just telling
something.
by Thursday, kid, by
I just
Thursday,
said,
bro.
Can
hey,
do
You
hey,
just
something.
say by Thursday. Let me know, cause you already know I go live. I don't give a damn.
hey, man.
See,
Well,
that's
you
why
gonna go live
he
anyway.
can't talk.
I know.
You gonna go live anyway. I'm just
I'm gonna go
telling you.
live
I
anyway.
got it. All I'm gonna say is I got a hunch. And I'm talking about like the punch you make, hunch punch. I got a hunch. I
I
got a
feel you.
pretty good idea which route we're gonna go, but I gotta
You happy
I
about
gotta
it,
make
King?
sure.
It's called a source. Are you happy or sad though?
Yeah.
Hey man, I am. It's a great day to be a JSU Tiger,
Oh,
man.
okay. All right. All right. All right. We
Great day
got
to
it.
be a JSU
We got
Tiger.
it. Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to tell y'all. Let me tell y'all something. It's a great day to be a JSU Tiger, man. So we gonna be fine.
Well,
We
that's what
gonna
I'm
be fine.
saying. He's leaving the
We
door
gonna be fine.
open for someone else to walk through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all
Hey
gonna be
man.
fine.
Hey
Hey,
man. We gonna be just fine.
Ken,
Hmm?
Yeah.
if I'm the new if I'm the new head coach, do you retain Coach Weeks?
Oh, if he want to stay, heck yeah. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't
So
you? If he wants to stay, I would keep any coach on the roster that wants to stay.
So I have a question though,
First
man.
person, go ahead.
Look, I have a question. Who on the staff? Because I don't know who on the staff is going to Colorado.
I do.
Seen Mathis. I seen Mathis. I seen Coach Hart.
No. I know who's going.
Yeah. And
so he's taking. So y'all listen. All right, he's taking Brett Bartolone with him, not as offensive coordinator. He hired the offensive coordinator from Kent. Was that Kent State?
Kent State.
So I was told that Dennis Thurman is going, but I don't think he's going as the defensive coordinator. So that was the one that was in one report. It showed that he was. The report today showed they didn't mention his name. We know Coach Andre Hart's gone. Kevin Mathis is gone. Tim Brewster is gone.
Yeah.
Mo Sims is going with more than likely.
Wow.
He did offer Otis the similar role to go with him to Colorado. Yes. Offered him a similar role to go with him. I mentioned Brett Bartolone. Who am I missing? Gary Fleet, Harrell. Coach Harrell is going.
Dang.
Yep, he going. So the name that I did not see is Jeff Weeks. I didn't see that name. I didn't see Ricard, and I did not see Marcusson. So I think Marcusson's days in Jackson is done, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, but at the same time, he did recruit the offensive line. I think the bulk of those guys are going to stay. And I would, if I'm a coach, I would probably try to maintain it. He's not taking Pollock. So no Ricard, no Pollock, no Weeks, no Marcusson. Those are the names that we did not hear. Bartolone, I want to say, is an offensive analyst of some sort, maybe some type of passing game coordinator, quarterbacks coach, something like that. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but the defensive coordinator was the safeties coach for the Alabama. So it depends on who the coach that we're hiring is going to want to keep in place, because he could very well come in and build him his own roster.
Yeah.
Hey, Ken.
And that's what I think is going to happen. Yep.
Ricard played in the league?
Yeah, Ricard was
yes.
For the Ravens, right?
Yep.
Atlanta Falcons and the Ravens. I thought he played for the Falcons too, but let me say this though. Oh yeah, I see somebody talking about that. The reports of A.D. Robinson leaving is 100% false. Y'all can kill that noise. That ain't happening. So go get some more sources. Yeah, that ain't happening. Now, the day that do happen, if that ever does happen, it would be an extremely sad day, because we got the best AD in the game, in my opinion, and they voted it. You know, he won awards. So AD Robinson is that dude. We just need to let AD Robinson do what he do. Let him do what he do, man.
Right.
Man, I'm just saying, look at the last three hires he done, man. And he did it at two different schools. So,
man,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, he hired Willie Simmons.
Yep.
He hired Eric Dooley. He hired Deion Sanders. And hey, it might be one thing we do know is, I'll say it this way: regardless of which direction we go, I think the person we hire is going to be a first-time head coach in that role. I'll let you do with that what you want to do with it. But that's what I think.
I mean, I'm just saying, he has a proven track record of hiring at least, capable and good coaches. So,
all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I know who it is.
They said throw another $100K on AD Robinson's salary. He just got a pay raise, man. He did. I don't mind him getting another pay raise. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know about no Mike Zimmer. I don't know about Mike Zimmer being the DC again. I think Mike Zimmer want to chill at the house.
Mike Zimmer, listen, man. Mike Zimmer getting paid by Minnesota. Mike Zimmer was only came for Deion, and we can leave all that alone. I would love to see Dennis Thurman stay. I don't think Dennis Thurman has said he does not want to be a head coach. So we ain't got to. He good.
Nah, yeah.
I don't know if Jeff Weeks stay though. I don't know. Maybe he do. Maybe he do. But I'm telling you, I see some things kind of lining up based off the little bit of tidbit of information that I do have, and it's gonna be nice, man. We're gonna be fine. Jack State gonna be
Yeah,
fine. Let me say it
and
this
I
way:
go ahead.
when we do announce our head coach, Jack State gonna be in the news again. We just leave it at that. So y'all go ahead and get all them damn tears out. Go ahead and get all that pain out your chest. Go
Yeah.
ahead and get all that. Go get all that get it all out your system. Cause in a minute, I want you to do like little Scrappy do. I want you to stick your chest out and hold your damn head up. And we Jackson State, man. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.
I wish. I mean, whoever the new head coach is, if Dennis Thurman wants to stay on as DC, bro, you need to keep him as the defensive coordinator. I would love to
Uh,
see.
well, I'll say this, man. We
Head coach can double as a
the players
DC.
the players are going to be fine with however this is what everybody got to understand. If you weren't playing, and I ain't trying to step on nobody's toes, but let's be real about something. If
Right.
you weren't playing at Jackson State, this notion that you're going to just jump in the portal and go be a star somewhere else
Mm-mm.
could be a little
That's a
misleading.
dead. That's a dead
Too
end
many
right there.
kids.
Because here's the thing. There's a lot of kids going to the portal that
Yeah.
are ballers, bro. And the portal is going to become a graveyard for falling college careers. Okay. I'm just telling people that. You don't walk away from a sure thing without having what's the old saying? A bird in your hand is better than two in the bush.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what's
It's
gonna
a
happen?
sure thing. What you got?
What I believe is getting ready to happen, right, is a lot of D2 schools are going to start coming up because
I just said that.
they're going to go in the portals to say, listen, this is your only chance of the play.
Yep.
Take it or leave it.
Hey,
And
Randy, you and I are aligned, bro. You are
I
aligned. I said it earlier.
I
The
think
SIAA gonna be tough because that portal
yeah,
and them high school recruits.
yeah.
Because of the portal high school recruits. Go ahead.
No,
but
that was it. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna start seeing it. Division two schools beating Division 1 schools. I'm telling you, and like, it's so many kids in there that they're not gonna have any choice. You know,
Let's see who just.
but I
There go
think
Dave.
kids. I'm gonna be honest with you, Ken. And I know we talked about this before, right? Whoever is advising these kids to go into that portal that don't have no type of film, that's mad because they ain't getting no type of playing time, you are a hindrance to that kid right there. Hindrance. Like you're not giving this kid you're not giving your kid the you know what I'm saying, the best advice to rectify that situation. My whole thing is if you ain't did um if you haven't started or if you ain't contributed or played anything like that for the whole season and you decide, okay, well, I'm just gonna go into the portal because I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't, he not giving me a chance and stuff like that. 9 times out of 10, like you said, you go to another school, they ain't gonna give you a chance. Or you just gonna be, like you said, you're gonna be sitting that transfer portal graveyard where it's over, you know what I'm saying, over 8,000 kids up in that junk. And kids
Well,
going
There's
I'll
there.
only
say this.
40% get scholarships, right?
Yep. And here's the
Yep.
thing,
So
Coach Prime said something today, and I know he's recruiting for Colorado, but this just makes the point. And listen, I'm not gonna stop following Coach Prime. I'm not gonna stop. He's a great recruiter. He said, I'm seeing a lot of. I'm blessed to have offers by Colorado. He said there better start being some. I'm committed to Colorado because he said, listen, them scholarships gonna go fast. And
Yep.
when they gone, they gone.
That's it.
Okay. And here's the other thing. Signing day is December 21st, early signing day. The
Hmm.
portal opens up December 5th, yesterday.
Yep.
The reality of the matter is you got a very short time window, and some of these kids that want to keep putting out these little edits saying, I got 750 offers, you better find you a school
You will find a
that
spot.
you can commit to. You
Hmm.
I'm telling you,
better find you a school to
when you
commit
be
to.
back in that joint.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Because now, here's what I will say in defense of the portal and kids that do enter the portal. It is an instance where situations like this, I do not blame any kid that's at Jackson State that decides that they're gonna enter the portal because you know what? They don't know who their coach is gonna be just yet.
Right. I
The
understand that.
beauty of the portal is the beauty of the portal is you have the right and the ability to withdraw your name from the portal. There was kids that was at Colorado that had entered the portal, but when Coach Prime became the coach, they got out the portal. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
So there's a good chance that some of these players all ain't lost. You get what I'm
Right.
talking about?
Right.
Because
Right.
they're still students. They still got to finish their classes. So they still got a
Hmm.
chance. You still got a chance to recruit that kid. And there's nothing wrong with a Michael Please, who really didn't play this year,
Right.
transferred from USM, played mostly special teams, got in garbage time. It's smart for Michael Please to go into the portal right now. He's already got an offer. So it might be to another SWAC school. I don't know who that offers to. Somebody told me he got another offer because I haven't really followed it like that. But
He
here's what
might
I'm
go to
saying.
FAMU.
That's who he had on his list last time.
Yep.
He came down to
He.
Jackson State of FAMU. I hate to play against FAMU next year and Michael Please on the other side. And I'd rather him be playing for us than FAMU.
Yeah.
So, any, but anyway, fellas, we got 7 minutes, man.
All
I'm
right.
gonna shut this thing down.
I'm out, man.
Yeah, go ahead,
I'll holler at y'all.
Randy. Thank you, bro.
Yes,
As
sir.
always, brother.
You got it, Ken.
All right.
random
Yes, sir.
question for you,
Oh, so
Ken.
Tyler, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So with
Oh,
regards to
everybody's
like,
saying he got an offer from Southern. Oh,
Oh yeah,
okay.
he did get
I
that
see
offer.
you,
Yeah,
Southern.
he got. Uh huh.
Hey, well, Southern, we're gonna make an offer to Glenn McDaniel. How about that?
Ooh,
Since
boy.
y'all can't
Hey.
since y'all can't figure out your quarterback situation, we're
Uh.
gonna go get Bubba McDaniel an offer to be a grad
Uh.
might
transfer.
as well, it might as
Uh.
well. Don't look like your boy don't want to play him, so might as well go in and get him,
That is criminal not to play that kid right there for a
man.
whole season, bro. Oh my God.
Hey
Loyalty,
man, hey
loyalty
Doc,
kills
Doc,
careers. I keep telling y'all that
hey
loyalty
man,
kills
I
careers.
was, hey, I'm gonna confess this. I got a little nervous in that championship game, man.
I
McDaniel, I
got
said,
nervous
man, they
too.
can't
You
tackle
should
this
have.
damn boy, man.
If
I said,
they
my
would have
goodness.
after two scores, if they would have swapped the quarterback, different ball game, man. I'm telling you, they
He put
waited
them
too
Hey
things
long.
on his
Tyler,
back.
Waited too long.
Tyler, I got him on my list too, bro. I got him on my list. But I'm gonna wait until that coach. Listen. This is two things I need to know from Jackson State that I have to solidify. I have to solidify who is going to be the head coach. That has to be confirmed and unannounced. Number two, who is going to be the point of contact for recruits, and that's all I need. Once we do that, we ready to roll. But go ahead.
So my question, man, because I know we were talking about funding earlier before I hopped in. So the thing I
Mhm.
was talking about in the chat was about the fact that Jackson State has pretty much always been, if not number one, definitely near the top when it came to attendance in FCS. So the question I had is, do you guys collect? Does the athletic program collects that data? And if so, do you guys reach out requesting those type of donations to those people? I mean, when you're talking about having like 35 to 40,000 fans at a home game on a week to week basis, It's not always the same folks,
That's facts.
you know. So I'm just curious if whether or not that's something that you guys have the athletic
Well, that is
program.
something. That is some. That is something that, first of all, Neely said it publicly. I have inquired about it privately.
Mm.
I've always felt like, I'm going to say this again, the greatest time, in my opinion, to ask people to donate for football is when? At a football game.
Yep.
At the
Why
game.
not? At the game. They already in the spirit. They already bought their season tickets. They already bought their single game admissions to the game, right?
Yep.
Man, listen,
Yep.
as much as Richard talk, and I love Richard, he get on my nerves sometimes, but that's how I say that out of love. He always talking. Like, Richard, we don't need you to DJ the first quarter. All right, Southern, Jack State just went. What do you got? Like, we don't need that. Like, I get it, bro. It's annoying. Like, bro, it's the first quarter. It's the zero quarter. They've been doing this for eons. They know how to do this without you DJing. But with that being said, we got a big old jumbotron, and we should be partnering with the university, creating some type of videos to play on the jumbotron during the game. We need to have a real
Hmm.
campaign. If it's the champions building on champions campaign that we put out there, then we need to have a text code, and we need to say, hey, AD Robinson can come on the screen. Hey, Tiger Nation. Hey, this is your AD Robinson right here, man. Just want to remind you, we got our building on champions campaign. We need you to donate. Matter of fact, I know, he say something like, I know we got 40, 55,000 people in here right now. And if everybody would just donate $5, $10, $25, or just set a number, we could really get some of the things we need to get done. Go to your phone right now, text this code, blah, 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 blah. And then that
Or
would
put a
be
QC code up there.
amazing. Yep,
Yep.
yep, yep, all of that.
Or
That's my
just throw
point,
a
bro.
QC code
So
up there. Nah, it's just
I got
or
another one.
like I got a story. I can tell you a quick story. I know we're old enough to know who De La Soul
What?
is. I'm assuming,
Oh, without question.
right?
Heck
Yeah,
yeah,
all right.
bro.
So De La Soul, none of this stuff is in streaming services. So about
Right.
like
Correct.
10 years ago, 10, 15, about 10 years ago, they made the decision to release all their albums that are on streaming services to anybody for free. All you had to do was give them an email address. So so you give them an email address, they'll send you a zip file of all their albums for free. Cause shit,
Hmm.
you couldn't find them on streaming services anyway, right? And so what did they do with that data? They were able to advertise all their merch. They were able to advertise when they were on tour. They were able to advertise when they had an album coming out. They were able to advertise when they did their crowdfunding for their last album. Those are the things you got to do to just try to get a more alumni involved because the alumni has some of the data, but it's probably stale at this point. And I think a lot of HBCUs have that challenge when it comes to just keeping that data up to date. But a football game is like one of the first
Well,
steps when it comes to that.
I think one of the things we can do is do a directory initiative. How can we contact you?
Hmm.
We're not asking you for money. I just want to know how we can contact you. I don't care that
Yep.
you're not a part of a National Alumni Association. How can we contact you? When we need you, how can we contact you? Start a
Hmm.
social media campaign saying, how can we contact you? Find out how many
And
actual alums with a database, whether it be telephone numbers, email addresses, names. You know what I'm saying? It's a real
or
initiative. And you know what you
or
do?
during homecoming,
Go ahead.
or like I know like during homecomings, I'm assuming like the different
Well, that's what,
schools, like
yeah.
the different colleges, y'all have your little reunions. They invest the money to feed all
Man,
the alumni that comes
it's,
back. That's when you get the data.
it's a simple thing.
That's when you give
It's a
them
simple
gifts for
thing.
coming back to
You
homecoming.
start,
So you give them an incentive to come. Do it during the day instead of going to a day
they
party.
come, they
Check it
gonna
out.
come, they gonna come anyway, Dave. Here's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Coach Prime gave us the blueprint. All you have to do is do social media, bro. Social
Yep. No,
media.
I'm with you.
Use all three of your social media platforms. How can we get in contact with you? We're trying to gather. We say we got 50,000 alums. Let's find out how many we really got. And I know people say, well, when you graduate, just put your information there. Well, people information change.
That shit
We got
changes all the
people
time,
that's
bro.
paying attention now. So what we doing right now, everybody's paying attention. I'm glad you gave your opinion. I'm glad you pissed off Coach Prime left. How can I get in contact with you? You see how I did that? Oh, you
Oh yeah,
mad?
absolutely.
Okay, I tell you what. Tell me how I can get in contact with you. We want to run some ideas by you. And that's all I'm saying. Like, once everybody is in the database, now when we run an initiative, we can send that
Or
information via whatever.
or I know this is what
And I'm
A&T
not saying
did
that
because
some of this stuff ain't already happening. Go ahead.
yeah, I know like when A&T was talking about when the band didn't show up for the game or whatever, they did a
Uh
survey. What do you think they did in that survey? They didn't just ask questions. They gathered data.
huh.
Wasn't
Man,
just about the
it's like a
poll.
consensus, bro.
Yeah,
Hey man, I
these
love it,
things that
bro.
you
I
do.
think we're greater together, man. Here's another thing we could do. Start piggybacking off of our fellow brother and sister institutions that's doing things better than what we are. Share data and be willing to accept it. We have this individualism, this individualistic mentality, and we just
Right.
have to do better business, like Prime said. Do better business, get more involved. Like I said earlier, I don't know if you guys are on the stream. I said we take this pride in having this big time fan base and this big time all of the stuff that we take pride in and we talk about.
Right.
Now we really got to show up because now we got to solidify it because everybody's gonna be
That's
like, well,
right.
you just did that because Prime was there. Now what you gonna
Well,
do?
man, it's the
Because I
same
went
thing about
all
when we
in. I
moved to
went to 8 games.
it's the same thing when we moved to the CAA. Everybody's like complaining about it. I was like, nah, this is the time we need to show up, guys, because we got to beat these guys behind. Because I want to dominate.
Yeah.
It's gonna take time.
So yeah, man.
We damn.
So that's what we are, man. I think we're gonna. I think the fan base is gonna recenter. I'll be back on tomorrow, but I'll be on the screen tomorrow. I'm gonna have some real, just be a little bit more buttoned up, and then we'll get into some meat and potatoes and some things, man, and just and we'll follow the same suit. Couple of hours, and then I'm out of there. But bro, appreciate you coming on, man. Appreciate it as always, Doc.
As
Hey,
usual.
first part of the stream was a little rough, man. Got a little emotional, man, because like I said earlier, I was just pissed off at us, man. I wasn't mad about and disappointed about Coach Prime leaving. I'm over that. Matter of fact, I'll share one last nugget. No pun intended, nugget, if you still listening. But check this out. I said this. I said this, and I don't. I'm not gonna. I don't know if I shared this before, but at the Alabama State game, after the Alabama State game, I had to sit down with a few individuals, and I was told by someone that was literally right with Coach Prime that this is going to be his last season. Worst case scenario, best case scenario, he'd be here for one more year. So when all of a sudden, when you saw me change my tune that I just want one more season, that was the basis of that, and that was the Alabama State weekend. So you do with that what you want to do with it. So I had a lot of time to prepare for the fact that Coach Prime was leaving. I wasn't blindsided. I was merely hopeful that we could get that one more year because I knew that if we did, then both of his sons were going to be alums. These are rich kids, and I don't mind saying that. These are rich kids. I expect both
Right.
of them to either have very successful careers. I think Shador is a pro. Who knows? Maybe they do come back and make a nice big charitable donation to the school, or do something like Tyrann Mathieu did for LSU. But I just wanted it. I thought it was important that they become alums, like real alums, where they graduate, and that was important to me. And that was why I was pushing that one more year. And I don't know if he would have stayed beyond that, but from what I was told, that this was going to be his last season. And worst case scenario, best case scenario, one more season. And that was after the Eddie Robinson, you ain't swag stuff. So, but anyway, fellas, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out on that note. I'm gonna get ready to get into bed. Appreciate you,
All right.
man.
I gotta check the other part of the stream, man. So I'm gonna check that out.
Well, you have a
Yeah,
good one,
go ahead and
sir.
listen to it before I eat it. Dave, appreciate you coming on, brother.
Nah, no doubt, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right, Dave.
No doubt about it.
Have a good one,
Hey, we
man.
got
Have a good one, Doc. Have a good one, Ken.
Yes, sir. All right, family. I appreciate you guys, man. Listen, got over 400 in the chat. If you're not a subscriber to the page, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Turn your notification bell on. Hey, man, if you want to donate to the page, you see the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Feel free to send a Cash App donation for those that did donate tonight. Definitely appreciate you guys. As always, I appreciate you for coming on the stream. We're going to do more of this. If you're not already subscribed, please, 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 please go subscribe to Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club on YouTube. If you're not subscribed already, go subscribe to Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. It's all helps cause, man. We're trying to grow this platform. We cover all things Jackson State. And listen, if you want the real, raw, raw and authentic JSU content, unfiltered, from true JSU alums, that's going to give you the real, this is where you can get it from here and from Tiger Talk. We just dropped our post-game reaction to the Jackson State versus Southern SWAC championship game. We just dropped it. Corey just dropped it, so y'all got to go tap in and listen to that. I wasn't on the show because I had to be off a few shows. I needed to get myself together and make sure I didn't say the wrong thing, which I still feel like I did tonight. But it's okay. And we're going to do another farewell show to Coach Prime where we're going to highlight these past 2 years, kind of a culmination, so forth and so on, man. So appreciate all of y'all. As you're going out, hit that like button. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Peace.